Yo, what's up? Anybody there? Hello. Welcome to the Lakers at Heat live watch party. Remember, if you want to join me and ask me questions directly, you can go right to Hot Mic on the app on your either Android or iPhone and download it, and it'll sync us up, I think. Although I'm not allowed to watch the TNT feed on my TV. So I don't know how synced up we're going to be. But either way, the game hasn't started yet. We're all going to be pretty close. I'll be monitoring questions. You can actually come on the show and ask me in audio, but also you can win $100 if you download the Hot Mic app. We have a live trivia thing going, or it's more like prop bets, like who do you think is going to win the first quarter and that kind of thing. And we can go through it together, and I can give you my opinions. Whoever wins in the leaderboard at the end of the game wins $100 from Hot Mic directly. So they'll just email you and say, okay, what's your PayPal? And they'll get it right at you. So let's get on there. So the app is called Hot Mic. I believe if you look in the description, you'll see the link to download it. So check the description, and it'll open up for you, and then you can come right in and we also chop it up with me during timeouts or during in between quarters. Love to hear from you guys. Remember, when we do live YouTube shows, we can't we can't actually talk. There's no way to bring you onto a live YouTube show. This is a great way to do it. So it wants me to sync. I might try this real quick with the TV just to see for fun, but this is probably not going to work. Let's try it here though. So the Hot Mic app, it's really cool. I'm going to hang on for 1 second.
Good news, friends. A triple bonus jack combo is back. The triple meat and cheese you need, the secret sauce you love.
Yeah, I can detect it. So anyway, it's supposed to try and sync to the commercials on TNT. I can't watch TNT because the powers that be in LA force you to watch it on Spectrum, which really, really sucks. So let me turn this down so I don't hear it much at all, because we don't need to hear the actual TV. We just don't want to hear me talk, right? That's why we're all here. So let me click out of that. But remember, there's ways to win $100. It's a lot of money these days, right? Hot Mic will give it to you if you win the prop bets we have. There's like 12 of them throughout the whole game. Very exciting. But here, let's go through some questions before the game is beginning. So let's see here. Do you ever thought about making a video Embiid versus Towns versus Jokic? I've done the Embiid versus Jokic video probably like maybe twice, at least once, probably twice. I suppose we're going to have to do it again. So stay tuned for that for sure. Great. Am I buffering here? Why am I buffering? Let me quit out of everything else. That's the only thing that's on. Well, hopefully, this doesn't look good at all. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's a problem. Yikes. That looks really bad, doesn't it? Am I freezing every 10 seconds? Because if not, I might have to just restart this thing. So tell me in the comments how off is this? This doesn't look great to me. As far as freezing, what do we think in the comments? Let me know, because if not, I might have to restart my computer. And maybe hopefully that works. But wait, I don't even see anybody. Is anybody in the chat right now? All of a sudden, no one's saying anything. What is happening? What is this? Open the widget. Okay. Are we getting a lot of buffering here? Hello, hello, hello. Anybody out there? Wow, is this that much delayed? I still haven't seen anybody respond to this. Here we go. We got people over in Hot Mic. And then we just found out that Kyle Kuzma is not playing. Yeah, so we're having a real problem with buffering, huh? Crapanola. Let me look. I'm going to keep my eye on it for 1 more minute, and if it doesn't get any better, I'm going to have to restart, and it should just come right back to where we are. So, yikes, this looks bad. Okay, guys, I'm going to restart real quick. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. It looks like. Hopefully everyone else is still there. I'm trying to see who is in the show right now. Okay, awesome. Ian, you are there, it looks like, although that was 10 minutes. Oh, that's right now. Okay. All right, let me get back over to the streaming and seeing if this is working. Are we back? Yo, am I back? Can you see me? All right, I'm back. It looks like it's buffering, but maybe it's working again. Hello, hello. I restarted and everything. I just restarted. It didn't work. That didn't do anything. Let's see here. Sorry, guys, on hot mic. I just want to make sure I can get the YouTube simulcast working fine. But it looks like it's still a big problem. Okay, that's a real problem. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep my eye on it. Maybe it looks like it's working and smooth. I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting an error, but we'll find out pretty soon. But anyway, welcome. Kuzma is not playing. Oh, I forgot. I got to get the TV on now on my computer just so I can watch the actual game. Let's see what happens here. But let's do this. What do you say? All right, the game is about to start. We got oh, that doesn't look good at all. That looks frozen to me. All righty. Now what happened to me? Okay, is this any better? Let's find out. I think we're back, but it still says it's lower than the current bit rate is 73 kilobits per second. That's like dial-up modem. That's crazy. But it looks like it might be stable. Right? Maybe? Hello? All right, let's see how it's better or not. Let's try and fight through this. I'm not going to give up so easy. The game is started. We missed the first 48 seconds, but here we go. So I'm at 11-12 in the first quarter, which is where you want to try and sync up with me. The Hot Mic app is a great way to come in and ask me questions. If you download it, the link is in the description. And it doesn't sync up. Normally it will, but for some reason, because I can't watch the TNT in LA, I can't sync up. But here we go. So ask your questions. Come over here. You can do them live via video or audio on Hot Mic, and we'll get to everybody. But here we go. So downloaded Drummond right away. Now remember, Kyle Kuzma is out with an injury, so that kind of makes this matchup even more interesting. But so far, the Heat are up 4-2 with about 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. So let's see what we see here. Let's see. The Heat brings it up, and they're looking to run a little corner option here with the handoff to Duncan Robinson. This is a lot of the same offense we saw last year with the handoffs. And then there's backdoor cuts to kick for a little bit of a mid-range. That's the thing that Bam does really well. Bam needs to fix make his post game better, but he's got a nice little face-up jumper game in that 15-foot range. So here we go. Bam against Andre Drummond. It's the matchup we didn't know we needed. But let's see if Drummond – oh, my goodness. Drummond's fumbling the ball, firing the ball out to Wes Matthews, and boom, there it is. There's a three. Cut the lead to one. It's good to see Wes Matthews out there. He's been kind of broken down all season like I had predicted. And there is Oladipo going strong on that little 21 action on the right wing where you pass it up and then you get the handoff. Great stuff, kind of right out of the triangle offense. So during the timeouts, during little breaks, I'll be making sure I check Hot Mic if you're there, or if you're on the chat here. I'm going to pop the chat out so I can see it a little bit better. And if you have questions in the chat, don't forget the best way to do that is Super Chat. It's been a little while, but don't forget the Super Chat is a great way to do it, and I'm very appreciative. Let me pop out the chat for Hot Mic as well, or get this somewhere where I can see it better. And let me get centered. It's cutting off my head. Anyway, let's move this and make it smaller. Move it over there, maybe. Okay. So we're back to the game. Little horns action for the Lakers with Drummond and the handoff to KCP. And, okay, nice. Oh, my goodness gracious. So you can see Andre Drummond might have small hands. He fumbles it a lot. He loses control of it. And as a result, you get some really wild misses there. He had a nice dunk. Let's see here. Oh, and there goes an ugly drive, but it's effective enough. Is that a Ariza? Because it's hard to see with Ariza. He's got the funky hair and the headband, it looks like. Let me pop out a little bit of a box score here so I can keep track of stats. Why not? Where do we go for stats these days? I'm going to go to the ESPN app or ESPN website, I guess. They have a pretty decent box score. Lakers Heat. Box score. There it is. Okay. All right, we're at a commercial. Oh, we're not at a commercial. Oh, they're now, at least in LA, they put a commercial side by side, which is always a little bit weird. Let's see. Drummond is averaging 18 points with a flash in the pan. We should have known that, right? I listen. If Drummond alongside AD and LeBron should be a lot better, and should actually, people will Laker fans will probably enjoy that a lot more. Another Horn set, double pin down the left side, coming for KCP again. Same thing. This time they skip it to Schroeder, who, oh my goodness gracious. That ball was probably rolling in, and Andre Drummond just touches it. It's like, this is the kind of stuff that you have to wonder, like, what are you doing, man? Like, just let it go. You can't touch it once on the rim. We all know that. That was going in. You know what? It went in. He just kind of grabs the rim. Okay, double high post across the top for double high ball screen for Jimmy Butler. Nothing doing on a good contain by the Lakers defense. So keep your eye on that. They'll run that a lot tonight. And then there's Ariza. Oh, trying to throw down, but Bam gets the loose ball. That happens sometimes. A missed dunk sometimes can be like a long rebound from a missed three, and it goes right to the teammates. So, way to stay with it. Can I set up a box score and it's easier to see? I can't do it this way when I'm on hot mic. I can't put in like picture in picture. That's the only way. So, I'll do this again later when I don't do hot mic, and I'll just have my Wirecast and I can put a score down there. So I'll do that at some point. The next one we do, I promise. How are we in the lag? It looks like it's better now, right? Right, and all you need, this is like commentary. You can hear me. Just put my audio on there. Duncan Robinson with a nice spot up from the right wing. You got to keep your eye on him. If he's going to do well, the Lakers are going to have a long night, and so far they are. Let's see here. KCP coming off a pin down on the top, and then want to attack Duncan Robinson. And good defense, good contest by Robinson. He's not a terrible athlete. He can move, and he's long, and he's tall. And there's Ariza with the new fundamentals, the shot fake sidestep 3-pointer. And there it is, the offensive rebound by the Miami Heat. And these are really awful uniforms, I got to tell you. Morris with the good hands on that short roll. And KCP, this is where the Lakers can still get you, is with some running the fast break to the 3-point line and hitting some threes, keep them in the game, because they are woefully shorthanded, especially being on the road as well. Now, there you can see Wes Matthews like sort of allowing middle. I don't understand that. And I've interviewed Frank Vogel before, where he said he's not a strict no middle coach, but when you know it when you see it, because you'll see that the players will angle their feet to force them to the sideline or toward the baseline. Wes Matthews has opened up, like allowing him to go middle, and then what happens? You get a 3-point play with a nice lefty layup. No, unknown alien. Listen, I know OBS can do that, but I'm also doing this on hot mic, so I'm using hot mic's interface to get over to YouTube. And if I use that, I cannot do all that stuff. I got Wirecast, baby. This isn't amateur night at the Apollo. I don't need OBS. I have the real deal. I can do all sorts of flying, graphics. So Schroeder comes in with an off-foot layup and can't finish. That was kind of brutal. He was right at the rim and should have been really easy. Those are the kind of plays that, when you don't have LeBron and you don't have AD and all of a sudden you're the man, they're a little bit harder to make. You're more keyed on. But that was bad. Schroeder's got to finish that one, especially if they want to have any hope in winning this game. Okay. I had problems earlier with my stream the last time I tried to do this, and I wonder, really, was it just to reset my modem? I guess that maybe that's that solved it. I kind of want to keep – let me look at the stream. Oh, my goodness. Oh, where is it? Here it is. I'll pull this over here so I can see me on the stream. But it looks much better, huh? It looks like oh, and there's Pat Riley, the architect of Showtime. I cannot wait. They're making a movie right now on the Showtime Lakers, and they have interesting casting going on. I'm trying to tell the makers of the movie that I could be the basketball coordinator on the shoot. I'm pretty much born for that. I was the biggest Lakers fan in the 80s. And, I've done breakdowns of series between the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s. I've had Lakers assistant coach Bill Burtka, who was on the bench during that time, come on the show and discuss it. If you haven't seen that, you should. It's a great breakdown. Let's see here. Let's go over to anybody have any questions? By the way, you can request to come on the Hot Mic app, and we'll bring you on, especially in the timeout. So, there's a button on the Hot Mic app, press join or whatever it says, and come on in. Remember, there's questions we have on the Hot Mic app. I'll throw them out there to the YouTube side too. Points scored by the Heat in the first quarter, over 27.5, under 27.5. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to submit my answer. Remember, if you get enough points on this poll, there's a leaderboard, and you can win $100. So right now, it's hard to see who's winning, but I haven't been answering any other questions. I wonder if I can go back and answer the other questions. How many points? Let's see here. How many points do we think the Lakers are going to score in the first half? Over 49.5 or under 49.5? I don't know. What do you think? Did you guys hear that? Let me see. I guess there's a little bit of a lag in the comments. What do we think? Do you think the Lakers are going to get to 49.5 or over or under? Yes, Jack of Dragon Ball Z. If you get the Hot Mic, you can request to talk, and then I can bring you onto the show. Oh, here we go. Just like Anthony. Oh, let me get Anthony first. Plus. Okay, now here's the question. How am I going to hear you? Anthony, what's up, my man? Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Anthony? Anthony, you're live. I think you're live. Do I have to press anything? There you are. What's up?
Hey, Coach. Hey, how you doing today, Coach?
All right. How are you?
Good. I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
I'll keep it short. I'm curious if you've been watching Oladipo's fit with Miami so far. How does that looking?
It looks good. I haven't seen enough to really formulate that. I'm going to do a video on it sooner or later. But I think that they needed it. I think that especially with what's his face, Dragic, he's just not going to be able to stay on the court. They needed a guy who can penetrate, who could shoot, who could basically be that, but a younger version of him and a more athletic version. So I think that they're in good shape to start playing better the last 20 games of the season and get. I don't know if they're going to get back to where they were last year, but certainly a lot better. Have you watched them?
I've watched them a bit. I'm a little bit worried about that's going to affect the development of Tyler Hero. Just because, Oladipo's not really he needs the ball in his hands a little bit,
I hear you. It's a good point. The team is a little bit better for it, but maybe Hero is a little bit worse for it. So we'll see. But also with Oladipo, you never know if he's going to stay healthy either.
Yeah. So hopefully the risk pays off for them. So I'd love to see the Heat, continue to build off of last year. But it should absolutely make for a really interesting East playoffs, especially if they get matched up with the Bucks in round one. Oh, yeah.
Listen, this East playoffs is going to be crazy once we figure out who's going to be in the 7th and 8th spots. So for sure, I can't wait to see that. And the Celtics are going to have to be battling for that one too.
With the Lakers, missing LeBron and AD right now, is anyone worried that if they fall too far, say they fall to the 6th or 7th seed, they're playing every series on the road, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty tough to get to the finals. If they end up in the 6th or 7th seed or, one of those seeds, do you see them getting to the finals still?
I mean, not really, but I didn't see him get in the finals last year. So what do I know, right? I was totally against it. And, I'm not sure it matters as much. There will be fans in the stands to some degree. I don't know if it's going to be full. So that won't be it won't be quite like last year, but it won't be like other years in the past. But when you got LeBron and AD, man, they're just going to neutralize a lot of the home court advantage. But is the rest of the team good enough to be able to do it? I didn't think that they were last year, and they proved it. And, we shall see, but they added Drummond, who will be helpful, but he won't be what Dwight gave him last year, and they don't have that Rondo guy. So I don't know. I would, it's hard to repeat. I would say the odds are against them, but you can never bet against LeBron.
Yeah, I think I'm done betting against LeBron, so I'm still going to take the Lakers. But I think it's going to be one of the most fun competitive playoffs we've seen in a while. So that'll be
absolutely. All right, well the game's back on, so we can chop it up later too.
Okay, take it easy, Coach.
Thanks, man. All right, so that was cool. But that's how you can come on the YouTube side live on my show. Ian, you're out there and you requested, can you wait for the next time out? Hopefully give me a thumbs up and I can see you. Wait the next time out and I'll bring you in, okay? Let's see here. So let's figure out what I missed here. We got Drummond. Oh, leading the break. Very, very nice on a nice little hit over to KCP. So we missed what the beginning of that play was, which unfortunately TNT was covering something else. But there's a splash from deep. Again, the Lakers are going to need to shoot really well from three to stay in this game, in my opinion, because we know that the Heat should. So now I like this. We're going down to Jimmy Butler and down low in the post where he can try and use his gravity, and they call the legal defense 3 seconds in the key, or 3 seconds not guarding somebody. But anyhow, and for those of you over on YouTube, that was how cool it was. You can see that Anthony can just download the app, come right in, and don't forget you can win $100 if you are among the leader on this leaderboard with all these different questions. Did anyone give me an opinion on whether the Lakers will score 9.5 points or under or over? I'm gonna go under. I don't know why. Let's choose under. Oh, it won't let me choose it now. Oh, that's the leaderboard. I don't even know if this works. It does, but maybe I missed it already. All right, anyway. All right. So let's see here. Trevor Artisan. That's probably a better name for him with the way his hair looks now. That was the thing. I was watching the women play in college, and a lot of them have really long hair. And I'm surprised it's not like slamming other people in the face and the eye and like hurting people. That would be, my impression of when you have hair that long. Some of those women had really long hair. Okay, so they just get the ball inbounds. Is that Dragic? Yeah, Dragic is now out there. Now you noticed that was interesting. Duncan Robinson did an inside hand dribble off that handoff, and it gets stripped. There's moments when that's the new fundamentals, but like you expose the ball on that one. Did they call a foul on this? I better turn the volume up a little bit so I can hear what's happening in the game. They didn't call a foul. They just called. That's a lot of contact, I would imagine. I know it's down low amongst bigs. All right, what's up, Aaron? Joining the watch party. Nice. So Drummond ball way up, stretched out in a weak position with his arms straightened, tries to jump in the air and then throw a skip pass. It gets there, but they call a foul. I'm not sold that Drummond is a great passer out of the post, but maybe I'm crazy. I know he's made some nice passes from the high post on the elbow in the past, but sometimes they're not so nice. As you can tell, I'm not the biggest fan of Andre Drummond. Do I like the Oladipo trade? Someone remind me what the trade was now. I can't even remember what it was. Houston, who'd they give up? Now, that's interesting. So there's an overhead two-hand pass on a laser by Caruso. You'd think that Morris could handle that, even though it's a little bit high. Okay, another one, the 21 action that they got a layup the last time or a foul, I believe. But it looked like if they could show it again, we'll see. You know what? We're not synced. We can see Duncan Robinson turns his body. Oh, no, he just ran into the defender. That's a rough one because I feel like after you hand the ball off, you got to be cutting. You should be allowed to move, especially away from the basket. But, he ran right into Caruso and they gave him the foul. Again, as a defensive player, to get the offensive foul, you generally need to have a big collision, need to go sprawling to the floor. So now they're looking to go back to Drummond in the low post. Good fronting by Bam. Really nice job there. And let's see if the Lakers have to counter that. So they flip it to the other side. Okay, so he stayed with it. Bam was really struggling at the rim on missed dunks and missed shots. This year for certainly. Drummond was. Bam really made it difficult on him, but he got the putback. So, Ian, are you ready? As soon as you come back in that frame, I'll bring you on because we're at a timeout. We can chop it up. So don't forget, when we have the Hot Mic app, you can come right on, and it's going to beam you right into the YouTube app side as well, which, remember, you can't do on YouTube normally. So here comes Ian. Let me add him. Invite. Am I sure I want to invite this guest? I am sure. There's a little bit of a second before he comes on. And Ian, what's happening, my man?
How's it going? I'm doing well.
How's your food?
My food. You could see me. Oh God. I'm a Celtics fan, but I have a Lakers question. I'm fascinated by this archetype of player. Taylon Horton Tucker. I just wanted to get your thoughts on him. Obviously, a defense first kind of guy. I think of players like Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Kawhi, like guys who are like built from defense first and then develop. I just wanted to get your general thoughts on him in terms of like where you see him as a player. I know he's a pretty divisive player right now, but
Is he? I mean, listen, I thought the Lakers fans at least like him a lot. And here's the thing: I'm looking at his numbers right now. In 19 minutes a game, he's a little over 8 points. So he's got crazy long arms, and a lot of times when you look at crazy long arm guys, they don't shoot from deep very well. Now he had moments in the past where he was like 30, like average or above. He finished last year, in a couple of games, but this year, he was shooting a lot better, but now he's below 27% on only a couple attempts per game, which kind of is how I would almost assume he would shoot. And that's a big problem because he can drive really well and he has a nice vision on passes when he drives. So without the ability to stretch the floor with any kind of gravity, that makes his job a lot harder. So that's the one thing I keep my eye on if he can figure that out. And if he's not like getting suspended for like taking a step off the damn bench in the middle of a little melee.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about him?
I really like him. I think obviously you mentioned I think a 7'1" wingspan. But I think the most he can get paid in the offseason is $82 million because there's that Gilbert Arenas, thing. He's a second round guy. And the Lakers, I know like the Dennis Schroeder stuff is all, but it's almost like I feel like they have to pick between him and Schroeder. And I would pick him just obviously because of his potential and the defensive like aptitude on that team. It's tough, but I feel like he's just a really versatile player. And he's almost like an OKC guy. Like you take a gamble on like a good athlete,
right? And
you see if the shooting develops. You honestly see that with Diallo this year a little bit.
I just don't know if the Lakers are in the position to do that, where they can let them develop a little bit. LeBron is in win now mode. AD is also in win now mode. Like these guys are getting closer to the end than they are at the beginning. Schroeder, I think, is a nice fit for them. And so I guess if the numbers work out, I know he's going to want a lot of money. And certainly with THT, you can get him for cheaper. I mean, he shouldn't be, they should get him for cheaper than whatever the max would be for his salary, I think, based on his output. So I just don't know. That would be a real tough one if LeBron would even, stomach that, thinking, oh, we're going to let him develop during my last year, my prime. Really tough. I like him. I think he's a nice role right now. All these guys look so much better when they play with, LeBron and AD, right? It's amazing. Right. And so they have to know that they'll get that. But will Taylon, Horton, Tucker give them the kind of Schroeder minutes or Schroeder output? That's tough. I mean, Schroeder's let me look at his numbers real quick because I feel like they're going to be pretty good. He's 15 points a game. He's shooting, not great, 34% from three. And he's giving them, 5 assists. So he's giving them a nice solid, starter guard role player off the, for the Lakers. So I don't know if they get the same output from THG.
That's fair.
Right. But
I appreciate you taking the call.
Hey, my pleasure. Yeah. Great question. And, if you hang around, we can always chop it up more when during other timeouts.
Definitely. I'll get back to my food.
Awesome. Enjoy.
Take care.
Okay. And we're back. Let's see here. So now we're back. 4.5 minutes ago is where I am in the Lakers game. Let me turn the sound up a little bit. Okay. The Heat are now up by 22-21. So let's see what we got here. We have the Lakers are running a little bit of a motion offense across the top with Drummond like 5 out, just screening for ball screening, can't get their offensive rebound. And here comes the Heat. Tyler Hero is now in. So let's see how that works alongside Dragic. So Dragic, can't get by a guy like Caruso. Well, let's see here. He's winding through, but he's just not the same guy he used to be. He's sort of broken down, it looks like. And then there's Hero on a tough shot on a bank, at least. Hey, nice to see a bank shot. We don't see that often. What's my theme song? You can check it in. It's always in the description of all my videos. Fighting for Freedom by Anno Domini. Domini. Oh, Ben McLemore, they just signed out there. Oh, my goodness gracious. Do you see that attempt by Drummond, like a double pump on 2 guys? They get blocked. Yikes. And then there's Dragic. Can't hit the little bunny. Again, he's just struggling. He looks like he's running in underwater, or he's getting like two inches of water. I'm not so sure how the foul ultimately got on in favor of Dragic. Oh, and then there's the answer to the Oladipo trade: Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and a swap. No, that's great for the Heat. You know, Olynyk is Olynyk, Bradley is Bradley. Those guys, it's worth getting Oladipo for if he can stay healthy. Dragic's in a slump. I think he's in the end of his career slump. So I don't know if you'd expect too much more. By the way, although you might end up having like a Dragic game, like he might give you one game in the playoffs where he reminds us of where it used to be, one of those kind of things. Oh, okay, Samari, I see you on there. I'll wait to probably when the first quarter is over, I'll bring you in. And there's Dragic's second free throw, gets the roll. So here we are, a little modest 3-point lead by the Heat coming down with the Lakers. Now the question is, what can they run on offense with Ben McLemore having just gotten there? They got Bielitsa or the Heat. I almost forgot that he was there. So Bielitsa is going to try and guard Harrell down low. I don't think this is going to go well for him. Oh, and by the way, Ariza saw that and switched him off. Did you see that? So now he's got to deal with wait, I can't see who that is on the Lakers. Who's out there? Is that McKinney? Yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious. And Harrell just threw a pass off the backboard. So this is a chance for Oladipo. Oh, my goodness. Oladipo did the Nash off-foot layup one-handed and lost control of it or whatever. They gave him a foul, though, at least. But I would have almost liked to see that maybe with two hands he could have gotten an and one. I'm ahead. Okay. I mean, I think if I'm ahead of anybody, it might only be by about 30 seconds, which I think kind of maybe even is okay, right? If everyone starts screaming that I'm too far ahead, then maybe I'll pause for like 10 seconds. Who will be the next coach to get fired? I think that it's Brad Stevens if they lose in the first round. Oh, how about this? What if they don't make the playoffs? That would be insane. I don't think he'd make it for sure. I love Pokusevski. I really like the way he looks. I mean, here's the thing. I don't like to try and do predictions on players until they look like they're about 19 or 20 years old. And Pokusevski looks like 15. So we kind of have to wait, right? I'd same with Devin Booker when he first got in the league. But really like what I see from him so far, especially at that age. And yeah, I know who Eric Snow is. I was at Wisconsin when he was at Michigan State. In fact, he was at a house party when I was there, and they were in town. If my memory serves. Okay. KCP with another three on a corner lift, which is a nice play to drag his man over to help, and then they skip it to him. So there's Bielitsa doing the Olynyk impersonation. Oh, look at that. A shot fake, one dribble pull up from, into 18-footer from the corner three. Wow. We're seeing Hero is shooting bank shots. He's shooting 18-footers. This is exciting. All right, there's Kinney. Now, Alfonso Kinney did nicely for the Warriors. A good body. He can play some defense, and he could shoot a little bit in and out. Again, remember, the Lakers are going to rely on the three-pointer tonight. Okay, one pass away help. They get a wide open shot, and Dragic can't knock it down. But look at that, that save. That was great by Caruso to keep it in bounds, right? To roll it to Harrell. Caruso is just the IQ is off the charts with him. Oh, McKinney, you can't step out of bounds in the baseline, man. Oh, Luke Walton could very well be on the top of that list too. Scott Brooks is going to be there. There's another couple of lists. I'm 1 minute ahead of your stream. All right. Well, I tell you what, maybe in the next time out, I'll pause for like 10 or 20 seconds. Who do you think the Wizards should hire as a new coach? Wait, but they didn't fire Brooks, right? Did I miss that news? So there we go. Hero on a little flare on the top. The nice little shot. There is no age limit to who I want to talk to, as far as I can tell. If you have the Hot Mic app, you can come on in. Can Ben McLemore? Oh, wow. He hit the backboard on the other side. That's the opposite of what you want. Look at Dragic behind the back. All right. All right. And by the way, that's the best way to switch hands there because it gets stripped if you put it in front of you. So, all right, stay with me. I got a couple people coming in at the break. So stay with me, guys, and I'll bring you in as soon as we're ready in about a minute. And we'll chop it up. Okay, another defensive 3 seconds on the Miami Heat now. Hi from Serbia. I forgot how you say hi in Serbian. The Bulls deserve a video with Vucevic for sure. I got to do one because I want to do one. Levine, he deserves some shine too. He's been doing so well. But wow, we got people who want to come in this room. So I'm going to bring you guys in order as far as I can tell who came in where. So stay tuned and make sure if you're on the Hot Mic app, there's all these interesting questions you can ask and answer. And if you get the most correct, you can win $100. And let's see here. All right. Schroeder needed to shoot that one. He had a wide open lefty layup. That's a bad mistake there, bad decision. And then now Caruso is upset about that. I wonder if he thought he took an extra step. Let's see the replay there because it looked like Dragic. No. Oh, you know what? He did travel. He brought the pivot foot there. The right step was the pivot foot. He needed to go up off of the left foot. He didn't, and he brought it down. So that was a travel. It happened. Now, here's the thing. It's a travel only when the right foot comes back down to the floor, which is about when Caruso nailed him. So that's a tough one. It would have been a travel, no question. All right, so Samari is first, and then I think we have Doctor, and then we have Jake. So we'll see how far we can get through everybody in the break in 39 seconds, okay? And don't forget, if you're on the YouTube side, again, there's no way to come in here and chop it up with me on YouTube naturally. So head over to the Hot Mic app in the description, and you can chop it up with me directly. And then you'll be broadcast out loud, out to Twitter, out to YouTube. All right, here we go. Well, 2 for 1. Yep, there's a 2 for 1. And the Lakers, oh, very nice. Right-handed tip, inside hand, right-hand tip by Harrell. I wonder how often coaches work on those tip drills these days. I don't see them much. Remember when I was growing up, we used to do a lot of those to work on the fingertips. All right, last shot. Oh, no, not the last shot. Let's see what the Heat are going to do. They're going to do a little pick and roll with Bielitsa and Butler. No, they're going to spread it. Okay, there's Dragic. So Jimmy needs to wait for Dragic to clear, and once he starts to go, Dragic is still moving, and the defender runs into him. It's an illegal screen. There's no way around that. Butler kind of set his own man up for that. That's too bad. That's too much collision. So now Lakers have almost 8 seconds to do something here. What are they going to do? Schroeder is taking his time. Yeah, that was Schroeder. Again, he had a nice little kickback through the open. I think Wes Matthews coming for the handoff didn't do it. All right, let's bring in Samari. Let me add this. Okay, and let's do it. Let's chop it up and see what he wants to talk about. I guess Samari, just hit the button and you'll be right in. You'll be in the show. Okay, Samari, do you see the button? There you go. Maybe. Did it work? Yo, what's up, my man?
What's going on, man?
How you doing? What's happening? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Drummond pickup, and what do you think he'll have to do in order for this team to, go as far as they can? Like, what type of role should he play?
I think that when they're healthy, he's going to be the guy who's going to set some screens, run to the rim, lob it up to him. Maybe when LeBron drives, he'll just jump it off and let him dunk him. That's the extent of what you should see from him, and I think that's all they're going to do. He's not going to get any high post touches. I don't know if he's going to get any low post touches because that's where AD is going to get all his spots, and that's where LeBron gets him. So there's not a lot for him to do much besides set some screens, ball screens or off ball screens, and then wait in the dunker spot for a guy to drive and dump it off to him. And then defensively, they're going to hope he can anchor the defense and provide some rim protection. But I don't know if that's really his thing. We'll have to see, but I'm not sold on that either.
Okay. And then another thing, this is like probably my last question. What do you think it would take the Heat in order to get another finals run?
They're going to have to shoot the lights out. I feel like they're getting better from three, and that was a big advantage for them so far. And they're going to have to get Butler and Oladipo to kind of get a mind meld going and play a lot better. Butler's going to play the way he played in those finals games. Those two final games he played that were his awesome games. Some of the best play basketball I've seen. So he needs to find that level again. I don't think I've seen that yet from him this year consistently. So either that was an anomaly and it's happened that way, or he'll find it again. And they could surprise some people with that experience that they have. But so far this season's weird. You would think that like there's no way they're going to be able to make it close. Maybe the second round if they're lucky.
All right. Thank you so much.
You got it. So take care. All right, that was Samari, and then let's bring in who did I say? Doctor. Let's see, is that right? Let's see. Now I can't see whose names are where. Oh, there we go. Doctor. I don't know, Doctor Detroit, Dr. Feelgood. You are invited. And boom. What's up, my man?
Hello. I have a few questions.
Okay.
So what is your thoughts on like some motion plays some teams could run? Like, let's say Tyler Hero is the ball handler, he passes it off to Bam Adebayo, and Bialisha gives Tyler Hero a screen, moves around the court. He can't find an open shot.
You're kind of breaking up on me. Do you have a good signal? Because I can't quite hear everything you're saying. Is there a place you can be that's better? Are you there? Now I can't hear you at all. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know. I can't hear you. All I can hear is something about motion and then moving, passing the ball. But well, I tell you what. See, maybe if you can get a better spot, and then I'll bring you back in. Okay, as we start the second quarter. Sorry about that. Let me see. How do I do that? Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I don't know how to get someone to get them out of there. That's interesting. I got to figure out the button to get them out of the when they're on. Sorry about that, guys. I took myself out when I wanted to take a doctor out. All right. Here's the thing. We got. I know we have Jake left to bring you in. So can you be Jake? Give me a thumbs up. Can you wait till the next time out? Are you good? Yeah. Otherwise, can you wait till the next time out? Let me ask him in the. Awesome. Okay. So I'm sure it's going to happen soon. We'll have a couple minutes. I'll get you right in here and we'll chop it up. I'll give you a little extra long segment. Okay. So we are back. 5-point lead for the Heat. I actually paused my stream to get a little closer to everybody else who's watching wherever they are. David Freeman, get in there. Get in the game right now. Sub in for Oladipo. No, I don't think Oladipo's out there. Is that Iggy's out there? Okay, so there's Bielitsa, a little drive and kick. They're doing a 5-out motion. That looked like the 5-out dribble drive attack. Okay, so now the Lakers are also doing a similar thing with the 5-out, and although maybe 4-out, 1 in with Harrell to spread the floor, get the ball moving, attack on the catch, kick. Oh my goodness, through the wickets, bad pass. There comes Hero, and then Butler finishes on Schroeder. So, yeah, wait, was that even a zone? Let me see that again. I was so busy watching the offense. Yeah, this looks like a man. I don't know if they played zone last time, but this is the man. And they're switching everything, although there's a double, and then Dragic stays with Schroeder. Doesn't want to be on Harrell, I can tell you that. We got Iguodala on Harrell, which is going to be interesting. They're not going to try and attack that, interestingly enough. And there's West with the pick and pop on the right side. He hit one before. That one was long off the back rim. And Dragic doesn't look balanced to me. He just looks a little bit stiff. So you'll see a lot of handoffs and a lot of middle penetration and kick by the Heat defense or offense, and good containment by the Lakers defense. Lakers are playing; they're hanging in there. I'm kind of impressed. Who do I think would win in the series? The Bucks or the Nets, and why? Oh, the Nets would destroy them. I don't have any faith in the Bucks or the Celtics this year. I'm sorry. Did you guys see my last video on the Celtics? I laid out my argument there. So a nice little handoff back. Again, you're going to see a lot of cuts and then come right back for the handoff. What they like about that is the handoff is now coming from the basket area. So when you're catching the ball, you're already lined up to the basket for a nice shot. It's decidedly old school. I love it, though. I love handoffs. And there's Iguodala. What did they call? They called a foul? Because the baseline ref didn't signal that it went out of bounds, but what did they call? Interesting. Thank you, Grace. Yeah, it was a good video. I'm glad. I've been formulating it for a while, for like a couple of weeks, trying to get it done. And thanks for Jared Weiss out there to come on the show and provide some other analysis. So there's a double. Usually, if you watch Steph Curry double or even just playing on the ball defense, he reaches in. He's constantly being aggressive on there. He pushes the refs to make a call, and he gets away with it, I would say, 90% of the time. And the other times, then he'll get his 3 fouls in a game. So it's worth it to try and see what you can get away with, maybe get a steal or a stop. So there comes inside ball screen, and they get the double, and now look at that Iguodala basically zone that up in the lane. He has 3 seconds to do that, although with the spacing, he was close enough to Harrell where they probably weren't going to give him a 3-second defensive violation, which means Harrell has to back up and get out of there a little bit. Schroeder looks terrible, man. Just got stripped in the lane. And then did it go in? Oh, my God. That's how bad Dragic lobbed that one. I guess they're good at the Dragic. He lobbed it in the basket. I don't think I've ever seen that. Wow. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen that, like on the break like that and a swish, just perfect. Wow. At least Jimmy didn't touch it. So there's that foul because they're talking about as far as jumping into the defender. That was, pretty clear. Oh, that should not have counted, I think. Jimmy Butler got his hand on the rim. Let's see here. When did he? Wow, right when the ball was going in his hands on the rim. That's close to being an offensive goaltend. Very, very close. What are my predictions for the second round of the playoffs? So first I got to see what the Manu had a lob. Yeah, but it wasn't on the break like that, was it? I can't remember. I don't even know what the first round is going to be like, much less to pick the second round. So I don't know. If you want to throw out some potential matchups, I'll give you my opinion, I guess. But I don't know about you. I'm looking forward the last 20 games to really bearing down and watching more live stuff. I kind of was remiss in the beginning of the year, sort of just not watching a ton of live. But I really want to dive in there. We'll do more of these live watch shows. Maybe every week we'll do one. Let's see here. How are we doing over on the hot mic? Everyone good? Don't forget, on Hot Mic, there's all these questions, although you missed some in the beginning if you haven't done it yet, where you can win $100 if you are on the leaderboard, at the top of the leaderboard after the game. Could the Wizards make the playoffs? I mean, I think mathematically they can. Let's see here. And let's see, what was this? Okay, so Schroeder is trying to take a charge. That's a flop. And they gave it to him. So that's a nice – so you see that as the drive goes to the middle to the right, Harrell circles back around under the basket to the left, and then a nice little bounce pass. Finally, we see a good decision from Schroeder and a good execution. I can't pick the Lakers, but I didn't pick them last year, and I was woefully off. I really got burned by thinking the Lakers were not going to be able to win the NBA title, and they did. So I'm a little bit wary now to pick against them. But it just gets that much harder to repeat, so – So again, this is they're not running like any kind of complicated sets. It's basically 4 out, 1 in with Harrell. Oh, And then Schroeder with an air ball from 15 feet in the baseline, and boom. Oh, that's too bad. Butler had that rebound for a putback. He got too far into the basket. All right, we got some more people who want to come in. I know as soon as that timeout happens, I'm going to hit it up with Jake, and then John, I see you in there. Oh, nice little kick out for a wide open hero shot. Takes his time and that knocks it down. So here, this is a good timeout by Frank Vogel because this is where the game's in the balance. So let's bring Jake on. And don't forget, if you want to chop it up with me on the show on YouTube, download the Hot Mic app and join me over on B-Ball Breakdown and request to speak. And we'll be here. There's actually even a little chat in there. You can chat with me. I'm keeping my eye on. But Jake, what's happening, my man? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. Just trying to keep my eyes open and not fall asleep editing so much these days.
Yeah, good. No, good. I had a question about the MVP race. What are your thoughts, and who do you think is?
I think it's Jokic, and it's done. It's done. It's decided. It's going to be him no matter what.
Do you think Devin Booker has a place in that talk?
That came up in the game last night between the Jazz and the Suns. Why isn't Donovan Mitchell and why isn't Devin Booker, at the top of that argument? They're leading the West. And I don't know. Booker should be in the conversation, and it's eerily quiet for him. Perhaps he doesn't have enough people giving him the hype. It's the media tends to have to drive that. Maybe I have to make a video on him. The video I want to do on Devin Booker is why is he not a better 3-point shooter?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, and I don't know the answer. I don't know. Do you have any answers? Do you have any ideas why that is? He's a very average to below average.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know his shooting percentage for the season, but I know it's below average.
Yeah, and the form looks good, and if it's a shot selection, I don't know. So anyhow, but it's a good question. But the bottom line is, if we're talking MVP, it's going to be Jokic and Embiid, and I just think that Jokic is going to get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cool. Thanks, Coach.
You got it. Take care.
Enjoy the rest.
All right, let's sneak in. Okay, that was Jake. So I lost. Oh, who else was there? So I guess you just lead the broadcast. There you go. I don't know how to kick anybody off, but who wants to kick anybody off? All right, let's do MMZ. We got somebody else was out there, but I guess maybe he dropped out. He had to go somewhere. All right, so we got NMZ Hoops over from YouTube. Download the app. Thank you so much. I'm invited him. He's going to hit the button, and we're going to chop it up. What is up, my man?
Yo, I had a question. I'm doing
right.
good. I'm an avid watcher of your channel.
Thanks.
So my question is just kind of piggybacking off the last question about Devin Booker. I recently went to Twitter to ask what people thought about Devin Booker and Trae Young in terms of how they're going to fare in their first playoffs, first time qualifying for the postseason, because both guys haven't been there just yet. And I was among the believers that when the game gets tight, officiated, less foul calls, there are I like Devin Booker with a higher release point, more size and strength, obviously, and a more refined mid-range game. I thought Devin Booker's game would translate better in the postseason, while I felt like Trae Young would struggle, especially if he sees a team like Milwaukee or Philadelphia with great perimeter defense and some length to swallow him up. So what do you think about that?
I mean, those are all great points. I would think that Trae would struggle more because Devin actually just has a lot more experience overall anyway. He doesn't like double teams, just in case you're wondering. And by the way, I was thinking about that last night, and then of course they doubled him, and he just threw the ball to the other team, almost like he passed it to him on purpose. It was crazy. So, don't think that other teams aren't watching that. And we'll game plan for that, and he'll see doubles, and we'll wonder how he's going to react to that and that kind of pressure. So I don't know. In my mind's eye, I think Trae will struggle. He probably won't get as many of the calls he gets now, and that'll certainly make him less effective. But he's such a good passer that I don't know how you're going to make him ineffective in these playoff series. So he should have. And by the way, he probably will get hot in a couple games. I think you're going to see Trae Young have at least one in the first round where he just detonates. I almost feel like he might do it more likely for him to do it than Booker. Booker's got a little bit better team. That might be why. Mm-hmm. But either way, you're very good points, and definitely need to keep our eye on that one and see how that plays out. But I would think that Trae would probably overall struggle more than Booker.
Yeah, I think that why I'm projecting Trae to maybe struggle a little more is because very similar to Dame. I feel like he's going to get blitzed off the pick and roll.
Mhm.
And like you said, to your point, he's a great playmaker. So I do expect that to kind of hold for the postseason. I expect him to make the plays. We'll see if the Hawks, the guys around him, can step up.
Right.
But yeah, I was thinking more as a scorer and taking over games. But yeah, those are good points. And then real quick before I just jump off of here, I think there's about 6 teams in the West this year that think they can probably come out. Both LA teams, Utah, Phoenix, Portland, and I'm forgetting one, Denver.
Yeah.
Which 4 of those do you see getting out of the first round?
I think Denver, guaranteed. I would say Denver, Jazz, Phoenix, and the Clippers. The Lakers, man, I don't know. They're going to be a 5th, 6th, 7th seed or whatever. That's going to be tough, right? So those are the 4. If you're going to put a gun to my head, I have to choose. Yeah, Jazz, Suns, Clippers, Nuggets are the 4 I do. The top 4 right now in the West. And the Lakers, again, you can't ever bet against those guys, and they're going to get healthy. But as of today, I think the reasonable take would be like you can't quite put them in the guaranteed, win column yet.
Got you. That's a hot take.
Is it? I always bet against the Lakers, man. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to get burned. Oh, well.
Right, thanks for having me, though.
You got it. Take care. All right. John, I got you. Let me just do a couple minutes here, and then I'll bring you in, okay? I'm sorry that somehow I didn't scroll down and see you, but I'll bring you in. And then don't forget, anybody else out there on YouTube, you want to come chop it up, you feel free. Oh, and there's a timeout. The Lakers did a little bit of a run, cut it to 5. Good sign to keep this game a little bit closer. But I still feel like it's one run away from the Heat blowing it open. Let me bring in John. He's been waiting very patiently. Forgive me. And don't forget, if you want to download the Hot Mic app, you can chop it up with me directly this way, and then you'll be on YouTube as well for everyone to see. So bring it. What's happening, John?
Hey, Coach. My question was about, why don't and I forgot the word, but, the people on the sports media and people on YouTube, why don't they put enough stock in teams getting wins, like the Jazz and the Suns and the Clippers? They always say the Lakers are still going to win.
Yeah, it's weird. It's narratives, right? It's this weird thing. The Jazz are the one thing that's really strange to me because remember when Derrick Rose won the MVP with the Bulls out of nowhere? The Jazz it's the same story, and Donovan Mitchell is the same story, right? I don't understand why this wouldn't be, getting all sorts of hype. There's a thing where you got to have certain people behind you as PR, and they push it. Maybe guys who have big YouTube channels need to do more videos on them. I don't know. And maybe it's my fault. I don't know. But you're right. It's very, very strange that at the very least Donovan Mitchell isn't getting that kind of run. Now, is he, having the kind of great? Is he that good? Right? Are the Jazz really that for real? I think that's the other thing is I don't think people really believe that they're for real, and I don't know how they're gonna, how to convince people other than be for real in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, I know how you mentioned the thing about Derrick Rose. I'm quite new to basketball, well, not basketball, but watching the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I have very little connection to any team in particular, so I'm not very biased. And I think that media on the game in general should have more opinions that are less biased and are newer to the game, so that way they have a fresh view on it.
That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, there's certainly something to be said for having experience and seeing the game for a long time. I'm more the bias is the bias, I suppose. I just don't like the terrible analysis. Right? It's just wrong, and I could do videos correcting what people say on channels like we're watching tonight all the time, and it just boggles my mind how that continues to happen. So I'm more worried about that kind of stuff, this sort of analysis that's just not really what's happening, but a half-assed version that a producer kind of prepared on a piece of paper for the guy before the game started. That's really where I feel like more homework needs to be done. If you ask me a question about a team that I really haven't watched, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. I'm not gonna just pretend and quickly look over at some stats and kind of make up something, right? Only if I have something I've actually looked at and studied will I try and weigh in on. Unfortunately, most of these guys won't do that.
And also was thinking what about cherry picking stats? Because I heard Zion was the fastest player to reach 1,200 points. Why 1,200?
I know. Cherry. Hey, listen, I'm guilty as anybody for doing that as well. To fit whatever narrative I have, I can find any kind of stat. This is what we're in. This is the analytics era, and I gotta tell you, yes, there are a lot of these crazy stats, like the first guy to have 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and shoot 45% or better, whatever. It's like, what does that all mean? And with the pace the way it is now and the way we played the game, it's like you can't really even compare these eras anymore. It's and I think what they want to do is, by the way, I think what the NBA is pushing is they want more records broken. So that probably is what's related to it. They want to see more guys get into the all-time, breaking lists and whatever. They want to see Wilt and Michael, those guys push down and the new guys take over. So there's more of this sort of, myth building of all the newer players. So I would suspect you're going to see more and more of that and finding more and more ways to figure out how to make these guys hyped up.
Oh yeah, because I've been noticing everybody's shooting 45% from three this year.
Well, no fans in the stands to be yelling is a big thing for a lot of players in the NBA, believe it or not. They're that good. They're awesome to get to the NBA, but some of these guys get affected by the yelling and the pressure that fans bring. We're going to find out what happens in the playoffs if a lot of these hot shooters are going to now, lose 5-6 percentage points because there will be fans in the stands causing that kind of havoc. All righty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for coming on. The game's back in. I'm going to finish up the second half. But, if you're around, you always want to ask another question, I can pick it up in the second half. You got it.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. So we're back.
All right.
And we got Andre Drummond shooting free throws in a tight game. They tightened it up. Good for the Lakers. This is the chance the Heat had to break this thing wide open. So I am now, if you want to get lined up with me, 4:45 left in the second quarter. Drummond just shot his first free throw, and he hit it off the back rim. Who would break the Wilt record? God, that's a really good question. Who would break that? I think Zion could break it, honestly. Well, you might have to have a three-point shooter guy do it. But if it wasn't going to be a three-point shooter, I think Zion could do it. They call travel on that? I kind of want to watch that again, but I'm not going to. Let's see here. Maybe they'll show a replay. That's my thing. Whenever they call travel, I love to go back frame by frame and really watch it and carefully to make sure the ref got it right. Usually they do, by the way. They're 90% correct. They blew one last night on Donovan Mitchell on one of his Euros. They called travel and it wasn't the travel. Okay, so again, this is sort of 5 out, with the Andre Drummond handing off and then looking to dive to the rim for a post. And then, a nice little finger roll by KCP and his headband. Don't forget, on the Hot Mic app, you can join me, and there's also prizes to be won if you're on the top of the leaderboard answering prop bet questions. Okay, there's a defensive mishap. No one was guarding Bam, but they figured it out. Yeah, shot clock was winding down. They didn't get the ball below the free throw line the entire possession. That's not going to be a recipe for good shooting. And then let's see, McLemore is there to be a shooter, and he comes off of that pin down. And I like to see the replay of that exactly where that foul was because it was hard to kind of see. Let's see. Oh, here's KCP's finger roll off the glass. Very nice. Bielitsa is the backup center for the Heat. So here we go. Last 3 minutes or so of the first half is going to be crucial for both these teams to see who can wrest away control. And as we get closer to halftime, listen, come on in if you want to chop it up some more and we can talk. Maybe I'll take a quick break and get a snack. But either way, I'm here. Whoa. What the hell? All right, that was weird. I guess the moral of that story is don't have your level leaned up against your desk. Wow. Put that right there. Or maybe I should put it down. I'll put it down so it doesn't fall again. I need my level so I can get my Kobe picture back there to be level. All right. Oh, my goodness. Oladipo can't quite get the handle, but then he does. Man, you can kind of just tell from the beginning of that play that it was not going to go well. He could not pick it up. He was trying to pick it up with one hand on a dribble. And and then he just goes right into the lane and just throws it away. I mean, it was deflected out of bounds on the Lakers, but just there's nothing there. It was too crowded. So now I missed what happened there. I'm not watching the TNT feed. I'm forced to watch the Spectrum in LA. So the Lakers are on a 13-2 run, which is crucial at getting a 2-point lead. Wow. After that timeout they called midway through the second quarter. Do I think that Olynyk and Myers-Leonard were a big loss for the Heat? Not really. You know, I listen. I liked Myers-Leonard on the court. I mean, I'm not going to comment on as far as what he said that got him kicked out of Miami, but I like the fact that he was a big guy who could, hold his own down low against a big, powerful center, but then shoot three as well. Olynyk, I also liked, but I just feel like he's the kind of guy that maybe kind of keeps you mediocre. I thought maybe he could be a really vital piece on a good team, and I don't know anymore. I don't think he's just consistent enough to be able to do it. So I don't think the Heat mind, upgrading with the potential Oladipo. Now, Oladipo, as far as I'm concerned, is a rental. So that's the only problem is they got rid of those two guys, and they might lose Oladipo, but I'm sure that they feel like they could probably replace those two guys if need be next year. Who has the best defense in the NBA? Just an eye test. Oh boy. Let me look at what I think is the best defense on the eye test. Probably the Clippers when they really are. They're still that way when they're locked in. Let's see who else do I think. And I think Philly and the Clippers are the two teams I'd say with the best. Should more 7-footers play the forward spots? I mean, listen, Durant plays the guard spot at 7 feet. If you're skilled, yeah, play him at the point guard. Do I think last year's Heat was a fluke? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so here comes the drive and the kick. That was not good. They had two guys going to the ball, then they got two guys going to the shooter, and then guess what? The Lakers get the rebound. This is not good defensive rotations by the Heat at all. And then Oladipo got caught gambling, which I don't necessarily blame him because if he was going to be behind Montrez, he's not going to be able to stop him. So at least make Montrez earn it from the line. What is he shooting from the line here? Trez is shooting 71%. So not terrible, but not great, Bob. I like Bol. I'm getting some questions, by the way, over in the chat on the hot mic. So again, if you want to come in the show, please come on over. Let's chop it up. Request to come in the show for a halftime. We'd love to do it with you, and we can just discuss things, and it'll get right out to YouTube as well. Because remember, on YouTube, you cannot have an IG-related audio-video chat. That said, Hot Mic is moving to audio only going forward. So if you're one of those guys who's too shy to be on camera, you'll be able to just do it audio-wise, like a lot of other apps. Oh, you know what? The Knicks do deserve a breakdown. Will people watch it? You think if I do a Knicks breakdown? Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I was going to do one on the top rookies. Okay, let's do a little informal poll, maybe you can say in the chat. The top rookies video breakdown or Knicks breakdown. What's up, Josh? Thanks. Did I do a video on Zion struggles and Durant return? No, I did not do a video. I mean, Durant just returned, so I haven't done one yet. Check that out. And Durant was rusty. By the way, that's the other thing is Durant looked really rusty when he came in. He turned the ball over, step out of bounds. He hit some shots and that looked good, but he definitely didn't look like Durant. He looked like he hadn't played for a while. And then you turn on ESPN or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, he looks amazing. He's lost anything. He fit right back in." It's like it's just not true. It's not what it was, and that just is so frustrating. So we got one vote over here on the hot mic for a Knicks breakdown. Knicks, top rookies, rooks. Wow. Who's going to add this up for me? It's about even, looks like. Okay. So Nice. Okay, remember, when you do a handoff or inside ball screen to the middle, it's almost impossible to stop if you let him get into the lane on the ball handler. Nice little pocket pass to Bam for a dunk. There's just no help rotation there, which means why don't teams do it every time down? I don't know. Okay, so a little high pick and roll. Now, Ariza switches on the guards, no problem. Look, he just bottled up Schroeder. Let's see what happens here. Great rotation. So this was a good defensive possession by the Heat where they rotated perfectly, but they didn't get the rebound. And then guess what? That is who is that? Dragic does the no-no, saving the ball, under your own basket into the lane. If you're going to save the ball on the baseline there where you're defending the basket, you throw it as far as you can, like to the half court. He tried to throw it to Ariza under the basket, and that's just, leads to a foul. And Trez is lucky he didn't get hurt on that one. He landed awkward on that knee, but he got off. The cool thing was he got off of that knee quickly, so he didn't put all his weight on it. Well, the Knicks go from crappy to competitive overnight because of, one thing, right? 2 words, Tom Thibodeau. I did a video on Randall. Well, I did a video on Randall, Zion, and Sabonis. So I kind of did him, but I'll definitely, do a video on the Knicks. Maybe, I don't know. The question is, how long will it take me to do one of the Knicks if I try to get it out for tomorrow? I don't know. I can't believe it's already Friday. So Trez splits the free throws, I believe. The Lakers have a 2-point lead with 2 minutes to go. What are the Heat going to run out of this? All right, another one of those 21 action handoff on the outside. Can't get anything going. Well bottled up by the Lakers defense. So now they're going to turn into a step-up screen on the left side. And Bam, that's the shot Bam can hit. That little elbow jumper is really good at it. So, you hear the announcer in the Lakers saying Bam's game has improved a lot over the last few years from the elbow. No, he's always had that elbow jumper. Wow. West just sent a missile up from the corner. Didn't even hit the other side. Barely hit the other side of the backboard from the baseline. So as you saw, Harrell fell asleep for a second on that Bam cut, and then look at it. The whole defense gets broken down, but Butler can't finish that putback. That's got to be put back. So this is not as much of a mismatch, although Bam gives up the 3. But the real mismatch was Butler sucked having to guard Harrell down low, but they get away with it on a little bit of a strip. And here come the Lakers on that turnover. Not a good decision by Butler to throw that pass, to Dragic. So now they got another. Morris is being guarded by Dragic. He just goes right through him. Oh, look at that. Off his leg. Very nice. Good hands. So, a lot of times you can't give up if you're a guard guarding a big like that. Oh, I don't know if Dragic is looking for that pass. That's okay. So that might have been Dragic's fault, not Butler's fault. I just think that Dragic doesn't look comfortable out there. Let me see what his numbers are so far. Dragic is in 15 minutes. He got 8 points on 2 for 6 shooting. He got 4 free throws and a couple assists. That's good for him. I don't know why he's playing so many minutes in the first half. I think he's played 5 minutes too many. So you can see they're running a lot of that 5 out with the handoff to start at the wing, where you can either hand it right back or you can fake and face up. They got a good position down there, but Dragic he's just a shell of himself. It's sad. Okay, so they tried to do an inside ball screen, but Harrell was in the way. So instead they get the drive, and that's just vicious. Harrell with a dunk. But look at what Dragic now. He's on the ground. I don't know what we're doing here. Dragic got what 15, 16 minutes in that first half. He should get 5 in the second half. That's it. He's just not ready to play. Not ready to play. It's not him. Not his thing anymore. He's broken down. I don't know if he's going to find it again. Jimmy Butler, I don't see him, getting into that conversation. He's just not doing enough, and the team's not doing enough. Okay, we're at halftime. So if anybody wants to join us and start chopping it up, I do need to send a text to the wife because I don't think I told her I was doing this. I'm in a live show. It's halftime now, and then okay. Do I think Michael Porter Jr. will be a superstar? I think Nuggets are one superstar away. I don't know. I mean, I think that Michael Porter could be a 20-point a game scorer. Watch. He is already. He's not already. He's not. He scores, what, 15, 16? Let me see here. So I think he can get to, 20, 25 points a game. 17. So I think he can get to 20, 24, 25 points a game. His defense, though, is just doesn't have instincts to defense. I think he can be taught, to be better, and he certainly has the tools to be much better than that. So I think his ceiling is probably KD, but I don't know if he's going to get there. I don't know. Well, I do. Let's see. We'll do a video about how the play-in affects the NBA season. I would have watched that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if we know the answer until we see it because it's not like last year. But that's interesting. And don't forget, if you are out there and you want to come on the show and discuss with me anything, get the link in the description is for the Hot Mic app. Download it, fire it up, find me on B-Ball Breakdown, and request to speak, and I will bring you in. It looks like no one else is in here waiting, but we had a bunch of people so far in the first half. That was great. Let's have some more. What do you say? Who is Rookie of the Year? So I think it goes – I mean, I guess if we got to take LaMelo out of the running because he got hurt, which is really too bad because it was his to win, then you got to go either quickly, Halliburton, or Anthony Edwards. And I don't know, man. That's tough. I think I might have to go with Halliburton. Celtics are the play-in. Yeah. I mean, listen, the Celtics, if they're not careful, right, and I have to look at their schedule for the rest of the year, but they're in 7th place, a game out of 8th, 2 games out of 9th. I mean, granted, they're a half game out of 6th as well, and although the Heat will probably win. So it's a weird, bunching. The Hornets are 9. The Hornets, between the Hornets and the Pacers, the 4th and 9th team are separated by 3 games. So that's going to be crazy as we get down to that, which is also part of that whole play-in notion because we're going to see the Bulls are right now in it to be in the play-in. And things can happen, man. Edwards has negative win shares. I mean, listen, if you play on the Minnesota Timberwolves, you're going to have negative win share. That's just what's going to happen. So my first impressions about Oladipo are, shrug, meh. I don't know. I need to see more from Oladipo before I can make a completely informed decision about how he fits in with the Heat. But by the way, they need to give him the minutes that Dragic is getting. But let's see. Oladipo so far, he made his only shot, got 6 free throws, so 8 points and 2 assists. That's pretty good. Certainly compared to Dragic, 4 turnovers in 15 minutes. That's crazy. And then 2 for 6 from the field. I know he got the 2 assists as well, but that's Dragic is a net, and what's funny is Dragic was +2 when he's out there, and Oladipo was -6. But I would tell you that Oladipo played better. What do I think about the fact that there's no clear MVP this year? I think that there is. I think the clear MVP is Jokic. I mean, I guess if you want to say it's either Jokic or Embiid, but it's a weird season, man. It's just weird. Oh, and look at that, John. Are you back in? What's happening?
Yeah, I didn't realize that I was already in.
I guess if I already invited you before, then you request again. Boom, here you are. So what's happening? Talk to me.
Yeah. All right. So what I was thinking was Zion's putting up crazy stats and everything, but I think last I heard they were 11th in the West. Okay. So if he continues up this production, but they aren't winning, when will people stop saying he's so good? When will people start saying he just has stats?
We're talking about Zion?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, when you watch him play, right, it's so exciting, right? And it's just like overwhelming how powerful the guy is. It's just like he is good. He is what he is. He is as good as everyone thinks he is. The real question now is just like, when does a team get dragged, over his shoulder to be as good as he indicated they would be based on how well he plays? You know, I don't know if he is that guy that ends up like controlling a game and like, you know, down the stretch ends up winning it for them. So that might be the one thing that holds him back. But he's so young as it is, right? And he's still so inexperienced that it's just like, I think it's also about the ceiling. So and what his potential is. So if this is what he's doing at age 20 or 21, whatever he is, in his second year, is that what he is? Yeah. It's like that's why get on the train now is what everyone I think is doing. So yeah, he's 20 years old, second year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, the guy, he'll average 35 points a game. You know, because he will get better. He'll probably end up shooting a little bit more on the 3-point line, and then once that happens, forget about it. And then if that happens, he's going to score 100 points in the game. I guarantee you, he'll be the guy to do it.
Well, I also had to think like, oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. Do you think like hype is like a little too prevalent?
I don't know. I mean, it's an entertainment. Hype is half of the NBA, right? I mean, that's what we do it for. In my line of work, it's like I try and cut through all that hype and put it away. But I kind of like it because it gives me ideas for videos. Because I'm like, yeah, does that guy really deserve all that hype? Let's find out. And sometimes it doesn't, and other times it doesn't. So I don't mind it, at least for me, because it helps me pick out content. And you might as well not fight it. It's here to stay.
And I also have a hot take right now. I believe Zion is like Blake Griffin.
Zion is like Blake Griffin. Okay. I mean, I hear you. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. And then by the way,
or Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon? Oh no. I think he's better than him.
Or kind of a little bit off, but like I'm thinking like the athleticism and stuff. And I believe that well, I don't want to call myself a hater, but that's kind of what I am. I don't see him doing anything that really stands out to me.
Zion? Wow.
Yeah. To me.
I mean, when he gets in that mid post and that mid range area, and he starts doing his gallop dribbles, and he gets to the basket to finish, like that's way better than anything Aaron Gordon ever does. Even though Aaron Gordon's solid there.
Oh yeah.
So that's really impressive. And then even defensively, he'll make plays too, just because he's so explosive. So I don't know. I mean, listen, I think we have to give him a break and just sort of say the kid's 20. You know, he didn't barely play in college either. So this is, you know, sort of his college development time. And even though that's the case, he's scoring, 26 a game, shooting 62% from the field. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows where he's going, what he wants to do, and they cannot stop him. So I think he's the real deal. I think we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, especially in this point of his career.
Will teams figure him out?
I don't think so. Honestly. I don't think they can. I think they would have by now, and they can't. What can you do when he's doing what he can do? And he can go to his right as well. It's really difficult. So, yeah. But listen, we have Alex who wants to come on, who's been requested. So thank you, John. Okay. And stick around. We can always do some more later. But thank you so much.
All right. Thanks.
All right, Alex, we're going to bring you in. I think if you are ready, I'm looking at your ceiling though, so maybe he's not ready. Did I catch him? But either way, I'll keep talking until he comes on. Oh, he's going to have to accept it. So, Alex, when you're ready, wherever you are. Andrew Zhu, friend of the breakdown. Thank you so much. Super chat. Wow, we got one. Why is James Wiseman struggling so much playing with Steph and Draymond? Okay, listen, he's struggling so much because he's a freaking rookie who didn't play college basketball. Okay, that's just what's going to happen. I've seen enough from him to think that he's on his way. They're developing him fine. He's going to be better for it. The struggle, and I'm not worried at all. So I'll get back to that one, Andrew. But what's up? Let's see here. Alex, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I was just in my room, and I wanted to ask you a question about what do you think about super teams? Do you think they're good for the league or they're bad?
I don't think they're bad. I mean, here's the thing. I think we've had super teams without even calling them that for a long, long time. Like the Lakers, when you had Magic, Kareem, Byron Scott, Cooper, Worthy, like that's a super team. Now they drafted some of those guys, but they traded for other guys. So it's not like it was all. I mean, is the definition of a super team that you have to sign them as a free agent?
Yeah, sure, but I'm not talking about the old school super teams. I'm talking about all the players that have no rings. They team up and basically get them a free ring, basically.
Right.
So I'm just asking about what you think about that. You think it's
You
fair?
know, I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. When KD went to the Warriors, I was kind of excited because I'm like, wow, we're really going to see incredible basketball, which we did.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like that. I like incredible basketball. And it is what it is. I mean, it is the rules. And so I wouldn't be the guy complaining about it. I'd be like, okay, let's figure out what we're going to do if I was coaching against those teams. We got to figure something out. The ball's going to get tossed up there. So, you know, now sometimes they don't work, right? So, like, what's an example where they kind of put super team together and it totally didn't work? I mean, like the Clippers last year. Does that count?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Although, yeah,
they were the first, I think. Like when Paul George signed with Kawhi, I think they were the first one.
Yeah. And so, although it's really top heavy with just those two guys, but the Lakers are too with AD and LeBron, and then after that, the talent goes down. But hey, listen, the Lakers were able to pull it out. So, yeah, I mean, so far I'm all thumbs up on it. I have no problem with the super teams.
Who's your favorite team?
Do I have a favorite team? I don't know. Whoever has the ball. Let's see. My favorite team this year. Well, it might be the Nuggets right now. I think I really enjoy watching Jokic and his passing. But I like the Suns too. I watched that game last night, Suns Jazz, and I was really enjoying the Suns. I don't watch here. I can tell you who I don't like the Celtics, and no enjoy watching. I don't know if I enjoy the Jazz. The Jazz for some reason kind of something bothers me about them, but I haven't figured it out.
What do you think? It's not what you think. You should look the Clippers versus Suns game tonight.
Oh yeah, well, I was going to do that this whole thing for that game, but then I have to do something after the game, so I can't. But I'm going to definitely watch as much as I can of it because here's the only problem: the Suns are coming out. It's a back-to-back, and they had that it was an emotional, draining game last night. So you have to imagine it's going to be one of those schedule losses for the Suns, which is really too bad. I wish they would have been able to play the Clippers on like 2 days rest and really get a chance to see what we have. Who knows? They're young, except for CP3. They might be able to handle it, but that's the one thing that's kind of bothering me about that game.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Okay, I wish I could figure out how to if I wanted to kick somebody else off of that. I wish I could figure that out. I'll have to ask those guys. Anyway, so James Wiseman struggling. So again, I think I answered that question to Andrew, but basically he's a rookie and he's going to struggle, and there's nothing that the coaching staff is going to do is going to change that. But I've seen enough evidence of him really doing nicely. Nice jump shot. He's got that really great dribble and then strong spin move, and he can finish. I've seen him defensively have a play or two where he's displaying some progress there, and I'm assuming that Draymond's really going to help him with that. So I would not be worried about that. I think they're doing fine over in Golden State. People were going nuts after they added LA and Blake, like they were stacking more talent. I mean, yeah, right. But Blake had a great line where he's like, I've heard for 2 years, I've heard how bad I was, and now everyone's upset it's a super team. So that's a great line there. And Blake actually looked pretty good. He had that dunk, which got off the ground. And he looked much more spry than we had seen him in a couple of years. So, and I get that, like, especially the way they got them, the buyout market, and they kind of signed him that way. It's almost like, they're like letting them have him. But, it's in the rules. It's allowed to be done. And I kind of have to shrug and be like, okay, they can do it. I enjoy watching the Nets play. I'm not going to lie. It's an incredible display of skill, which is what I'm all about. Thoughts on John Morant being so inefficient? Yeah, it's weird because he did have a big stretch where he was shooting really well from three last year, and it's just been going downhill. And let's check in on him because I know I looked at it the other day and it wasn't great. Wasn't good, Bob. Okay, so he is at below 26% from three on 3.5 attempts per game. For me, I feel like it's a shot selection and balance, and he's got to be able to harness his incredible explosion and quickness better and not be so off balance. I think that with Jaren Jackson Jr., that'll probably change things. It'll balance out the offense better, and he won't be expected to do as much. And then they'll be better overall. And then I would expect to see him get his percentage overall back up. He was at 51% from 2-point land last year. He's only at 50.3 this year. It's not that far off, but so he's still being able to finish decently in the nearer the basket, but the 3-point shots he needs to get better at that, and those should go up when they add Triple J back to the team. Do I see any improvements? DeMar DeRozan is DeMar DeRozan. I feel like he is who he is. He's been playing that same way for a long time, which is very good. All-star caliber generally. Let me look at his numbers right now, but he's a little bit down on scoring and shooting, but he's actually taking a few more threes this year and not really hitting them, which is not surprising the way he shoots it to motion. Does Coach Nick have a favorite draft prospect? Man, all those Baylor guys. Wow, I was really blown away. I'm remiss I didn't watch Baylor before the finals. I just somehow never got a chance to watch them. The way that Coach Drew allowed them to play and find space to ISO and just display those incredible handles and shooting ability. So I liked all those guys. Mitchell, I really like. How tall is Mitchell, by the way, on Baylor? Who else would be out there? I like Jalen Suggs. I think he's good. I don't think Timmy is going to be a decent pro. He won't be able to play the way he plays in Gonzaga in the NBA. And I think we saw enough evidence of that in the finals game. He couldn't handle that speed. What do I think Bam's ceiling is? Bam's ceiling. Who is a really good passer, a nice little jump shot. See, if Bam improves his low post game, which he really needs to do, then he'll be a lot better. But let's see. So who is that? What is his ceiling? His ceiling is probably 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, a couple blocks, and 6 or 7 assists, which is probably kind of close to what he is. So he's getting there. But all I would say for Bam is he's just got to improve his post-up game. That's probably the biggest area. And then, at some point, because his 15, 16-footer looks pretty good to me, he should be able to add a 3-point shot to his game. Well, I don't, because he's not shooting them right now, right? Let me make sure. Right, he's not taking any right now, so I think he should add that to it as well, and then he'll be a legit top 4 center, top 5 center. Okay, and we're back. Don't forget, if you want to sync up with me or chop it up on the Hot Mic app, you can do that on the link below, and then we're back. An ISO Drummond post up, and that was they gave him the foul, but that was just ugly. And it was just like he was twisted sort of the wrong way, and then Bam was upset because they didn't think it was a foul. Let's see the replay here. I don't know. See, the problem is I have the Spectrum feed. They're not going to show replays like they do for TNT. So that's an interesting form by Andre Drummond with a lot of airspace, meaning the ball, is far away from his face when he shoots it. And he does that to probably control power because he's such a big guy. And that looks pretty good. At least the release looks good. They can, the elbow straightening and the wrist flick is good, is synced properly. Okay, so another high post entry here, and then they do that little pinch post action on the wing. I like that little action, but very well played by KCP. And there's that Bam elbow jumper. Bam, he's really good at that. Okay, so nice hands and an extreme help by Butler who gets the steal on that inside handoff. And they call the foul on the pass. Okay. Somebody asked me my thoughts on Clayton Crowley's GOAT series. I don't know who Clayton Crowley is. How did I miss him? Oh, Jimmy High Roller is doing a video about Scalabrini. All right. Good for him. Okay. Out of bounds play is a little rub for Oladipo. It forces that shot. Man, that's not a good shot. That's why his 3-point percentage will be lower than it should be. Okay, there's a baseline drift and it steps out of bounds. Schroeder is looking terrible tonight. Someone wants my thoughts on the ugly Laker jerseys. They're a lot better looking than the Miami Heat jerseys, I'll tell you that. Would Drummond be a more highly valued player pre-Steph? Oh, does you mean pre-Steph meaning pre, 3-point space and pace NBA? Probably. But he's not good. So, they attack Drummond in the pick and roll, and he doesn't really get a hand up, and Butler just hits the 15-footer over him. Okay, so let's see what, again, the Lakers are really centric on trying to get Andre Drummond in the post. And I think the Heat are going to be able to handle this. Let's see what happens here because the Heat seem to have the game under control right now. And then can Ariza hit that? Nope. A wide open three in the corner, though, off the break. I love the fact that Adebayo can grab the rebound and push the ball on the dribble on the fast break. Nice. Oh, my goodness gracious. What was that? A lefty pass. Watch, it's going to be a made three. No. They missed the layup. A terrible lefty attempt on the right side of the rim by KCP. And a trip. Good call. Who would win a Phoenix versus Utah series? I kind of want to go Phoenix. I'm not sold on Utah. So I think DeRozan will take a look at the free agency. I bet you he will. I think DeRozan feels like he's got some value out there. What did I think of Durant yesterday? I thought he looked, rusty for a little bit of that, but he also, hit some shots that we see him make. So, a good first time out after a long layoff. And he didn't get hurt. That's just good. And then there's that another Bam lefty. Oh, I'm surprised he missed it. In and out. That Bam lefty left elbow jumper. So a quick drag screen from Drummond. Schroeder can't get in there because Adebayo's great at that switch. And then look at that. Wes Matthews just throwing a dying quail as a post-entry pass. I mean, this is not a great game, I got to tell you. There's been some pretty bad displays of skill here. And then, boom, there's Oladipo hitting the left corner three in Drummond's face. I don't like Drummond's body language. I don't like his effort level. Again, he can be a lot better once they get the other guys out there, but this is what I've been seeing from him for a while. Yeah, I mean, if you're a guard and you're going to try and take Bam to the hoop, that's a tough one. So watch out. Here they come. They've now missed a couple threes, and then the Heat had hit a three to give them a 3-point lead. So now let's find out. So there's that step-up screen into Flair that got completely broken up well by the Lakers. And what's Jimmy going to do? Oh, he didn't step out of bounds, huh? That looked like he got his left foot out of bounds on that step back in the corner by Duncan Robinson. Let's see here. Okay, nice. Good find by Schroeder. And okay, nice off the glass by Drummond. Good shot there. Will Jamal Murray make an all-star team? I think he can. He's just got to, be killing it from day one. He seems to be a slow starter. Oh, good fake by Jimmy. The offhand, if you notice, didn't get out of his body, but it kind of held the contested hand out of the way. Sometimes they call that. Usually they call that. Oh, great double on Schroeder on that one. They bottled it up and they call it, and he gets the foul, which is not a bad foul because that was going to be a surefire 2 points in transition. And then they cut to the Caruso after Schroeder makes another mistake. Although, wait, Trudell is reporting. What's he reporting? Oh, Caruso's got sore left knee. That really bodes poorly for the Lakers. I really do feel like right now the Lakers are going to the Heat are slowly going to pull away. I think Oladipo needs better shot selection to begin with, which might just come with getting, more comfortable with the offense and with his play, with his teammates. No, the Heat have no chance as long as the Nets are in the East, and then the Sixers. They can't beat those two teams, I don't think. Bam should absolutely be the Defensive Player of the Year. Again, I think we're starting to find out that these awards are not based in reality. Often they're based in hype. All right. So don't forget, if you want to chop it up with me during the timeouts and the lulls in the game, download the Hot Mic app, come on over and request to speak, and I'll bring you on. And it'll be beamed out to Hot Mic. It'll be beamed out to YouTube and everywhere in between. So weird spacing there with a pin down with Morris in that corner already. I don't understand what that was about. So you can see Butler trying to tell who is that? I just got the foul. Achua. I probably blew his name. It's not enough to have your arms straight up. He's like, really, I'm so stiff these days. Get your arms way back so the referee can't call it, because if you're an unknown, the referees will give you calls, start calling fouls on you left and right. Yeah, Schroeder is really struggling out there. Over 7, 5 turnovers. Is that right? Let's look here. Yeah. He has 9 assists, though, so give him credit for that. But he's a -8. He's a team worst to -8 out there in the plus-minus. Okay, so Jimmy rejects the step-up screen, kicks it out. It can't get any opening. Good bottled up by the Lakers defense. But there's – Oladipo. Wow. Tough stuff right there. And that's good in the flow, spacing, coming around, following thing. There's a 4-point lead for the Heat. Beware. This is the moment when, Drummond is still in there. They have the starters in there, but at some point they're going to start getting on the bench. Oh, and there's Morris, gets the ball up. Nice hands by Oladipo. And Ariza somehow holds on to that ball and gets it in off the glass. Yeah, absolutely. That's a crazy good dunk. So here it goes again. A 6-point lead by the Heat. Watch for Vogel to call a timeout if they get another bucket and increase that lead again. And then again, there's another one of those shot fakes up into the defender. You got to figure out a better way to take a different angle so that if you do drift in the air, you're not in this way he can't get into. I'm a little behind the game now. Oh, I had paused to let you guys catch up. Oh yeah, I'm about 36 seconds behind. I'm going to jump forward. I'll be 20 seconds behind. DiVincenzo I like, but I don't know if they can rely on him as much as they do to get very deep in the playoffs. I'm not sure he's good enough for that. I feel like if the Bucks had one more player above him and he would get knocked down, then he'd be in the perfect role. I think right now they ask him a little bit too much of him. I thought the Bucks were lucky they didn't trade Dante for Bogey. I think. Well, I mean, Bogdanovich wouldn't have gotten injured with the Bucks, right? Yes, he did in Atlanta. I would have liked to have seen him on the Bucks. I think that would have been it. All right, so no one wants to come in and chat it up with me in the timeout. Okay. I am available, and you can do that. If you download the Hot Mic app, join us, and we'll chop it up. But how are we doing so far? How many contenders do you think would revisit the Harden trade if they could? Coach. Oh, what's going on?
I was trying to let other people hop in, but I do have another question for you.
Go ahead.
So I heard you earlier say you weren't a big believer in the Utah Jazz, and I was wondering, I kind of hold the same position, but I think because the Jazz's inability to pick apart one-on-one matchups is why I feel like they're susceptible to being upset in the playoffs. In the previous years, with the exception of last year, of course, they were beaten by the small ball Rockets and the Death Lineup Warriors teams, which would religiously switch on the perimeter. And the Jazz just didn't have that, low post threat and Rudy Gobert that they could dump the ball into. And I like Mitchell, I like Conley, I like Clarkson, but I don't know if those guys are the perimeter guys that are going to really get you through even the Western Conference at that. So I'm wondering if you think this year anything is different because they're shooting the ball crazy. I think at this point it's fair to say it's potentially sustainable. But when a team switches and flattens them out and there aren't as many rotations on the weak side or the strong side, and they're not able to get those, hockey pass threes, do you still see them – because their defense can probably hold, but do you still see them scoring at the rate they need to win an NBA title?
It's a great question, and I was actually looking at this earlier today because I want to call up. I created the spreadsheet because I was looking at. I wanted to see the 3-point percentage differential in wins versus losses to see if there was indication that when the Utah Jazz win, it's because they shoot really well from three, and when they lose, it's because they're really bad from three. It turns out that it's not that big of a difference. They're pretty consistent. When they win, they shoot about 41%. And when they lose, they shoot 35%, which is in the top 10 as far as smallest difference between wins and losses. So that to me means there isn't a lot of variability there as far as, they can use their defense and they can actually still win. But you're right. I feel like in the playoffs, they're not going to get as many calls. They're going to rely on Donovan Mitchell taking really tough shots, which he had made to some degree in the playoffs last year. And I feel like Rudy is just going to be the guy who I just don't think he is as valuable as Utah Jazz fans think. And there are times when you don't even know he's out there. And because of the offensive issues where they can't punish teams with him, I'm worried that that's probably what's bugging me about it. Because I love Bogdanovich. I love Royce O'Neal. I like Donovan Mitchell. I think he is the key that makes them go. He's the guy they should, be keying with, through the offense and everything. Anyway, I don't like the way Conley. I don't know. Conley's okay, but the right-handed floaters drive me crazy. So there's little things that bug me about certain players in this team, and then on the flip side, there's players I like. So I can't quite figure them out, but I don't feel like they're going to make a deep run. I just don't feel it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think they might have a favorable first round matchup, obviously because they're the 1 seed.
Yeah.
They've been tough to beat at Utah. I believe they've won 22 games straight at home. But yeah, that's the reason I personally don't see them going too far, because I don't know if they have the personnel to attack the one-on-one matchups as soon as the team downsizes and decides to switch everything and kind of flatten them out.
Well, you'd think that Mitchell is that guy, right? But he's a little bit inconsistent too on that kind of straight ISO and breaking guys down, and shot selection too. He'll jack up the three when he might be able to have gotten in and gotten closer. But you're right. Other than that, I don't really trust too many other guys to be able to create up the dribble. So you're right. It's a question of whether or not these really good defensive teams, when you get to the second and third round of the playoffs, can limit middle penetration, and then they won't help off of one pass away, so they're not going to give up a lot of those extra threes. That's going to be a real question, and we have to really look at it. I don't think the Jazz are going to be able to handle that.
Yeah, I agree on that too. If I have another question, I'll hop back in.
You got it. Thanks. And we're back. 6-point lead, and then there's Caruso with a nice shot fake, but they bottled it up nicely by the Heat. And they can't. Caruso gets free though. That was really bad. I'm just going to jump back. I want to see. So Ariza completely helps again, one pass away, and that lets Caruso find a little spot on the perimeter for an open jumper. And again, they cut the lead in half. So little defensive miscues like that after a good defensive possession. Oh my goodness! Did I just see an air ball by Oladipo from an open free throw jumper? That was ugly. Yikes. So you know what? At this point, let's see here. What we're going to get to a point now where the Heat have lost their chance to take that control, which it felt like they had a chance to do, and it's a dogfight at this point. And that's what happens if you don't knock them out early enough. They start believing, they get some rhythm, and then you're stuck with them for their whole game. So we'll see here. A curl by KCP, can't get anywhere. It piled up again. There's nice moments by the Heat defense here. Interesting quick release lob that went nowhere from Caruso, and that was a travel. What? Wait a minute. Okay, that's an interesting take. You guys will see on that what's his name made. But they give another corner three. That was Achua. Just had it really stretched the boundaries of the 1-2. Oladipo just kicked the ball out of bounds. And we've seen that a lot. Oladipo gets stuck with his eye gaze down, gets lost with contact and the defender that can't handle it, and just kicks the ball. And that's not a unique occurrence for him. So Oladipo looks terrible. Schroeder looks terrible. Who else looks terrible? Dragic looks terrible. Oh, who shot that? And then KCP, quick release and basically an air ball. This is some ugly basketball, I'm telling you. This is not a nice game. It's not a nice, well-played game. All right, so what are the Heat going to do here to try and get this game back under control? Double ball screen for Dragic. Can he? Oh, nice little pass, but then Oladipo is stuck under the basket and breaks the bottom of the rim with the throwing it as hard as he can. And then Achua just runs over Schroeder. This is ugly, man. The things we do for love, huh? That watch this game. I don't know if I believe in Malik Monk. I don't know. I've seen, he's steady usually. But yes, Omotayo, I can hear you shaking your head, and I am shaking my head, and my neck is, the Sixers will be a problem. They will. Absolutely. Oh. What time am I at the game? Okay, I am at 3 55. In the third, they're shooting the second free throw by Dennis Schroeder. I'm 1 second ahead of your stream. That's right. I'm in the future. Am I going to do the Clippers Suns game? No, I got to record my political podcast, which, if you're interested in, is kind of gotten pretty big. The Muckrake podcast, if you're interested. But if you are a Trump fan, I don't think you're going to like it. But I wanted to do the Clippers Suns game, but I worried that the Suns were just going to come out really flat, having played that great game against Utah last night. I'm at 347 now, Daniel, so I think we're pretty close to being the same. Right now, according to me, I'm 22 seconds behind my stream. I paused just so anybody else can kind of get synced up with me. And unfortunately, on the Hot Mic app, we can't sync up because I don't have the TNT feed because I'm in LA and they force you to watch Spectrum. And Trump still exists. Yeah, they every once in a while they talk about him. So yeah, it's not Muckraker. It's here, I'm going to write it. It's the Muckrake podcast. We take a deep dive. We do a little historical context on politics. So it's a lot like the breakdowns I do, but on politics. And then we have a Patreon, which I'm going to have to record after this, where we watch movies and we break them down and how the movies. We did a Jaws one, which is awesome about how that fits in with the political and what, Jaws was COVID and the mayor of a town was Trump or whatever. We kind of making interesting parallels to that. All right. Oladipo, yeah, he has not looked good, Bob. Okay, so the Lakers down by 1. Caruso running the show here. Let's see what they run here. Pin down for both on both sides, and they get a nice slip to the basket, but good. That's covered up nicely because Bam is all over the place, and they force a pass out of bounds. And good decision, Dragic, not to shoot that three. Okay, low post. This is where Bam struggles, but a nice kick out and the ball movement. And can Oladipo? Yes. So that's good. Oladipo, catch and shoot, little hop on that shot. I love it. Brad Stevens, his seat's a little bit warm for sure. All righty. So they're running a little high post action here. And did that Oladipo who fell down? Why did he fall down? And why did they call a foul? Who did they call a foul on? Let's go back and watch that real quick. They're going to show replay probably. Oh, I see. Harrell stepped on his foot, on Oladipo's foot. And that's a trip. It's a foul. He doesn't mean to do it, but whoever really means to foul anybody out there, right? So some more elbow action. And very well bottled up by the Lakers defense. We've seen a lot of this. But that's a tough shot. Wow. And Duncan Robinson hits it. Mike Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Always gets you right to the top of the list here. Can a fit Philly go all the way? Can Philly beat the Nets if they're healthy? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't feel like they can do it. So I guess the answer is no. But if the Nets get some problems with their health, then absolutely the Philadelphia can make it. So thank you so much, Mike Smith. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else's super chats. No, good. Okay, anybody want to chop it up in the hot mic? Remember, if you want to come on the show, this is the last time probably that you can do it via video. It's going to go only in audio going in the future, so you don't have to actually go into hair and makeup if you don't need to and just talk to me audio-wise. But it's, again, don't forget, on YouTube Live, the only way to come in here as a guest is through the hot mic app, the way I'm doing it here. So download it, jump in here. Let's see. Daniel on the hot mic is saying he got to speak to Taco Fall on the locker room. Oh, man, being from Australia and getting to connect to people like you and Taco is crazy. That's cool. Taco's on locker room. I'm on locker room. I got a bi-weekly show there. You can always shoot in. Do I like Trump, coach? No, I do not like Trump. In fact, I think he was the single greatest threat to our democracy we've ever seen. Wayne Cole and Taco. It was Wayne Cole's room. Well, that's cool. And listen, locker room just got bought by whatchamacallit? By Spotify. I mean, that's incredible. May Hot Mike receive the same fate? Can Coach Nick do a broadcast on TNT? I'm kind of working on, how you can listen to like Nate Duncan and Danny LaRue on League Pass. I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen for me. So that might happen. Do you think that Donovan and Booker should be in the MVP conversation? We talked about that earlier, and I think that I think that they probably should be. I think Donovan should be, at the very least. He's the best player in the best team in the West. But there's narratives, and I think it's Jokic. He's just going to win it. It's not even going to be a thing. Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I grew up in Chicago, went to all the games. Are the Nets the most loaded team ever? I mean, that's the argument, right? They got 6 players who have made at least 3 All NBA teams. The thing is, LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin obviously are way down at the end of their careers there. So, but you know, the big three is as good as any big three we've ever had. So yeah, you probably got to say that that's probably the best collection of talent we've seen. Are the Clippers a sleeping giant? I don't know, man. I don't know if I get that feeling from them. I got burned last year thinking that they were, and I'm kind of, whatever. Greetings from Hanover, Donka. If the RBI 241, thank you so much for the super chat. The Lakers fall into the play-in. Would a Mavericks matchup be difficult? Yes, I think the Mavericks could beat them. They could get hot. Luka could really do some damage. I mean, the question is, who can they get to guard? So like KP and AD is a really interesting matchup. That kind of is interesting. That's not necessarily a bad thing for the Mavericks. Who guards LeBron? Is it Luka? Does Luka have to guard LeBron? Who else would guard LeBron? Probably not. Let's see. Who guards LeBron on the Mavericks? Let me see if I can look at their roster real quick. Who is it? I mean, they're going to do it by Luka might have to be the guy guarding him, right? I can't figure out anybody else who would do it. Let's see here. Let me look at their where's Dallas? Let me look at the starters here. Richardson, or Finney Smith is probably going to have to do it, or Kleba. I don't know. They'll have to do it by let's see. What are we saying? Finney Smith, Kleba will do it if he starts. And then I would imagine they're going to probably try and get Luka on him to maybe get some fouls. But Luka's been playing some defense this year, and he's got the size to kind of handle LeBron a little bit down low and not get overpowered. So it'd be a great series without question. Really great series. Okay, so the handoff to Ariza got beat badly in the corner, but they can't finish. Okay, here it goes. This is the last chance here for the Heat to blow this game open. And there's Bam, and he does not get the foul. Interesting. I thought I would have gotten something there. Now, Bam would have been better off kind of splitting his feet and then going lefty over the front of the rim instead of like a behind-the-head double pump righty shot. And then, boom, there it is. KCP knocking it down, cutting that lead. It's like the Heat just can't put together that last stretch to get him the 8-10 point lead. And that'll burn them. That could burn them big time. Yeah, and then boom, there he goes. Good hands. I don't know what Bam was doing on that one though. Weird step up screen in the low post by Duncan Robinson, and did not go well at all. So there's more of the 21 action, the handoff back to Dragic. Can't handle it, but they get Ariza in the lane and cannot finish. You watch, they're going to hit a 3 here, and it's going to be a 1-point game. That's it. The Heat blew their chance to get some separation here. Oh, goodness gracious. This is ugly, man. Harrell can't catch a bounce pass? Jeez Louise. Got to text the wife here. Let's see here. Yeah, Schroeder has been terrible. There's a lot of players who've been terrible in this game, and then there's Ben McLemore, and was it a 3 or a 2? That was just a 2. All right, I thought for sure that there was the 3-pointer. It's going to cut it to 1, and that was it. And now we're back into a dogfight for the rest of the game. But hey, I don't mind a dogfight. Do you? Let's see here. I don't know why Dragic. I mean, I would say Dragic is probably going to get a few more minutes here, but he throws the pocket pass away. Gosh, darn it! And then is that McKinney with a nice dunk in the transition. Man, oh man, oh man. They got to yank Dragic. If Dragic comes back out for the fourth quarter, I give up. What happened? The Mavericks have that. They have a second ball handler in Brunson, who I really like. And they call the foul here on Bam. Let's see. Bam is rolling. Oh, yeah, he clamped him. Bam clamps Caruso's arm a little bit, and a good call by the official. So it appears that I'm about 22 seconds behind the actual TV feed. In case you want it. So what's the score? That's a good question. So if you want to sync up with me, it's 80 all. 36 and a half seconds left, and the Lakers are just about to inbound the ball. Okay. Now the Heat made a mistake in letting Schroeder get valuable seconds by rolling the ball up. You should never let the offense roll the ball up and save 5-6 seconds. It gave the Lakers a 2-for-1, by the way, right there. So that's a mistake. Nice. Okay, a good little handoff into a Jimmy Butler facilitating nicely. I like Butler. Butler plays the right way, makes the right play, and it's a good finish by Achiuwa. Where did he go to college? It seems familiar to me. Will it tell me if I go here? Memphis. Okay. All right, last possession. Heat up by 3. The game is in favor of the Heat. Okay, they probably feel like they should be up more and they just get control of the game and win this. And I agree, but like they just can't put together. Oh my goodness gracious! And I think Schroeder has a point. I'm going to go back real quick and see what he meant, because you always want the corner filled. Like you almost throw it without him thinking. That's McKinney. Oh yeah, McKinney just cuts to the basket where there's nowhere to cut to because Harrell was there. So that's more of a turnover on McKinney than it is Schroeder. But man, Schroeder looked bad. And as a result, they got plenty of time to push the ball up and take a step back. Jumper that bricks. Yikes. Okay. So listen, it's a close score. The game that is good in that respect, but man, there's just no end to the bad play. Okay. Here's a question over on the Hot Mic app. Can I rank the 5 best West teams when fully healthy? Yeah. When they're fully healthy, let's go back to standings here. Here's the question. Do you put Dallas in there? Because obviously, the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers are in the top 5. And then you have the Jazz, Suns, and the Mavericks. And the Mavericks who are kind of getting back into the swing of things, and they really are good when they are healthy. I might think that the Mavericks are better than the Jazz and the Suns. How about that for a hot take? And then if I had to choose between the Jazz and the Suns, I might choose the Suns for some weird reason. I like them better. But that's either or. You can interchange those two. But yeah, IRL, they're shacking the fool out here. It's embarrassing. And I'm demanding dinner from my wife, but what can she do? Okay. Anybody want to chop it up with me? No? Remember, if you want to come on the show and talk to me via video, it's the last chance we're going to get, because Hot Mic is going to go to audio only to chop it up with me, but either way. And you can be shared all across the YouTubes. Jordan Clarkson stepped up out of nowhere. No, he's not out of nowhere. He was doing this last year. He's doing it the year before. We all know Jordan Clarkson, JC. Mavs are neck and neck with Milwaukee. I guess, different conferences, but okay. Who do I think gets Who do I think gets all defensive guard spots? Simmons, Dort, Murray, and Drew Holiday. Yeah. Oh, Murray? Okay. Simmons and Dort and Holiday certainly I think are decent picks. But who would the other guard be if it's not Murray? I don't know. For all defense. I don't know. That's a good question. There's got to be somebody else out there. Jaylen Brown could be that guy, but he's not consistent right this year. Is RJ Barrett a franchise player? I don't think so. He's good, but I don't think he's a franchise player. Has Andrew Wiggins reached his full potential in Golden State, or is he still figuring out the system? I think he's pretty close to getting to what you're going to get from him, which, by the way, is a lot better when you get Clay back and everybody moves down a notch. Are they playing each other right now? Oh, Mavs, Bucks, no Giannis. Yeah, I mean, with no Giannis, it doesn't matter what happens in those games. That's why it's like, what's the point? Oh, hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Coach? I have
Right.
like a question about the in terms of the Bucks. Like, if you were like the coach of the Bucks, like how would you like what would be the best like system strategy you would use for the Bucks in their current team right now?
Well, I would certainly limit like the way they play defense by collapsing to stop shots at the rim. It means a lot of open threes, and they've gotten away with it in the past. But this year, it wasn't that way, and teams were finally making them pay. So at the very least, defensively, I'd have them help a lot less one pass away, unless it's off a bad shooter. And that would be a real key. And then also preventing less. By the way, I answer this for every team, but the Bucks specifically have this problem where they let a lot of middle penetration and everybody just flies in there to stop that ball, and then they give up open threes. So if they could fix that, that would be a big thing towards getting them more solid for the playoffs. And then, it's a conundrum because you got a guy who's an MVP who, can be sagged off of so much, and against the good teams, they can play with one-on-one if they have a guy like Kawhi who can match up physically with him. So it's very difficult, and I think, in those times and in those series, you have to make sure, I don't want to take the ball out of his hands, but it kind of feels like the best position for him to make the most damage would be in that traditional center role, where he's setting ball screens and rolling, and they're lobbing it to him. Otherwise, he can gum up the works for everybody else, and it's really, really tough. Again, only against the top 3 or 4 teams in the league. Everybody else, they can dominate, doesn't matter. So that's what I would probably be working towards. And then, ideally, though, I would have him be the second best player, honestly. I think Giannis needs like a Harden. I think he's best if he was the number 2 on the offensive pecking order, and he's number 1. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And one final question: how do you feel about the Drew Holiday contract?
Oh yeah, remind me, it's 40 a year.
Yeah, 4-year, $160 million.
Not worth it. But they got to keep Giannis happy, and they want to, and it's not a bad fit, but it's not. You can find a guard to do, not 85% of his output and pay the guy half as much. You know what I mean? So that's the issue. So it was an overpay. It's not going to be worth it, and they're now tied up forever.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You got it. And we're back. Okay, so the Heat just did another mini run here with a couple free throws to go up by 8. So this is it. I've been talking about, right? Like they're on the verge of getting control of this game, and at some point, if they can't do it, then the Lakers hang around and it gets close. But it looks like they're going to do a run one last time with their second units out there to make a bigger gap. So we'll see what happens here. And good defense forces a long 2, but there's Alfonso Kinney hitting the long 2, the dreaded long 2. Sorry. I'll make sure not to, if someone comes on, I won't talk to them until we have a timeout. I wouldn't put it past Kawhi to leave if it goes south again in the Clipper land. Oh, my goodness. Didn't I tell you that they should take out Dragic and he shouldn't play in the fourth quarter? And what happens? He airballs a 3. Let me get my box score up here real quick. There's Iguodala, always getting his hands on balls. I just want to check to see if Dragic, he's just not doing well. I missed 2 super chats. Shoot. Buzzer beater. Thank you so much. Please do a bit on Knicks offense. Yes, I'm going to do a Knicks video. And I defense, schmefense, right? We want to talk about offense. So thank you so much, Buzzer. I will do that. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that. And then Andrew Zoo, again, thank you, Andrew, and for telling me I missed that. Forgive me. Atlanta Hawks chances in Trae Young's progress to become Steph 2.0. Let me get to that next time out. Okay, high post entry. That was a weird positioning, but it turns into a step-up screen for Jimmy Butler. Wide open, little nothing jumper. I don't know what Harrell's doing. He's got to step up and get a hand up at least. And then the body language by Harrell is bad. Okay, so we're going to a timeout. Again, 10 minutes left in the fourth, and the Heat are up by 8. If you want to sync up with me, I feel like I am. My TV or my thing is telling me I'm 18 seconds behind the TV. Okay, thoughts on the Atlanta Hawks' chances and Trae Young's progress to becoming Steph 2.0. So, Trae Young is not really Steph 2.0. I don't know exactly what is he like? Is he more like Jason Kidd with a jumper, when Jason Kidd was young? No, I don't know if that's it either. So I think he is. I guess you have to say Steph is probably the closest comp anyway. But the way he gets to play in his offense, he's going to get more assists than Steph ever did. And he's probably got better vision than Steph, believe it or not. So that's one thing. And so he's on his way to becoming his best self. I think he's still got room to improve, and he will. So I would imagine like in a couple more years. The only thing is his numbers might not be as good as the second year because the team will be better around him. So he doesn't have to do as much. He doesn't have to score 30 a game. But he will get better, get more efficient, and that's the key for him. So I feel like efficiency-wise, there's a lot of room to improve. Let me check. Did he get to 40 this year on three-pointers? I feel like maybe he did. Oh, no, he's only at 36.5%. So that's got to go up. He needs to get to 40%. And that probably will go up with better teams. Now, he's only taken 6.5 attempts this year. It's way down. That should go up anyway, but he needs to make more of those. So once they get healthy and this team develops better and gets more of a chemistry, probably into next year, you'll see him be even better. But he is on a nice trajectory right now. Okay. So does Kawhi leave the Clippers? I think if it goes south again this year, I wouldn't put it past Kawhi to leave without question. I think Kawhi plays in a lot of pain. And so it's frustrating for him when, guys don't make the right decisions and the team doesn't play well enough. So I could see that being an issue. So let me just make this one text. Excuse me, eat something real quick. Sorry, hang on. Okay. Kawhi is still hurt. I think Kawhi's his leg is just permanently tendinopathy, whatever he's got, is a problem. It looks that way to me, even though he can elevate and still perform at an absolute MVP level. I think that he's in pain with that. It's chronic. Kawhi is going to ask for more money, arthritic knee. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just a pain management thing, and that guy is tough as nails. Okay. Let's see. Who do I got coming out of the West besides the Lakers? I might have to go with Denver. I really like the way that Aaron Gordon has looked with them. It's a nice fit. It's a nice addition. And if it's not the Lakers, maybe the Suns aren't probably quite ready. I would like to think they are. It's a good story, but I don't think they're quite ready. I mean, shoot, the Mavericks look really good at times when they're fully healthy too. And that means maybe the Clippers don't. I don't know. The Clippers are leaving me empty for some reason. But then again, we haven't seen them healthy either. Wes Matthews with the post up. Oh, and that just got sent. Oh my goodness gracious! And then the ball ping pongs out of bounds. This is ugly, man. I wonder if we have to finish this. Maybe you know what? The Heat can just go on a run here and end this early. That was a serious block by Achua. Okay, a flare for Jimmy, who doesn't take that shot. That's an open shot, but he's got Harrell on him. I would imagine he's going to want to. Oh, he doesn't want to take Harrell. Interesting. Oh, boy. Oh, did you see what that had? Dragic shoots an air ball, and then he slams it off the backboard from straight on. Take him out. Why is he playing in the fourth quarter? It's one of the only reasons why the Heat don't have a bigger lead. I don't know what Spoelstra is doing here. And he's still not taking him out. All right, Iverson cut for Schroeder. And then, oh, my goodness gracious, Schroeder just throws the ball to Iggy. And there's Achua. Oh, good hands by KCP. Oh, they missed the layup and then misses the tip. And then this is ugly, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you hear me shaking my head? Oh, I don't want to. Wes Matthews, okay, good. Give it up. This is ugly. This is what happens when all the stars are out, certainly when the Lakers don't have their guys. I'm not sure what the excuse is for the Lakers, for the Heat. I'm 45 seconds ahead of you. That's interesting. Because right now I am 18 seconds behind, it looks like. I think. Can Achua get a call? Yes. Oh, I should switch to the Mavs and the Bucks. Why? Is that a good game? But it's how can it be a good game if Giannis is not playing? It's a good game. The score looks like it's good. But I don't know. If Giannis is not playing, I'm iffy. Wait, what happened with that shot? Off the front of the rim. Okay. Andre Drummond is back. Your friend and mine, Andre Drummond. This is going to get really interesting. Both short. Okay. And the same play here on that Iverson cut for Schroeder, and they keep him under the basket, and then great to cover it up and recover. There's Iggy getting another deflection right to Schroeder. Oh, my goodness. Schroeder shoots the 3 ball. His rhythm is not pretty. Yes. Hello, Duke. All right, what's Jimmy going to do? Back in, draw the double team. I don't think they needed the double team. All right, so Jimmy passed up that corner 3. That might be the best shot they would have gotten. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, they knocked it out. At least that was going to go in, I think. But like, what are we doing here? The defense is now. Wait, Drummond just goaltended the ball through the net, through the rim, underneath. What are we doing here? What is he doing? It's a joke. Thank you. These are Warby Parker. I mean, maybe Warby Parker will be a sponsor one day. I've seen the Caruso Manscaped commercial. I emailed the Manscaped guys and we got to do one together. So hopefully it'll happen when the COVID thing goes away. Oh, my God. Drummond just threw a glass across the court to the Heat. Like, it wasn't even – oh, and they just did it again. What is going on here? Oh, and then the shooter goes flying. This is awful. This is awful, guys. I'm about to just storm off the set here if this doesn't get any better. Wow. What a game that we chose, huh? Oh, boy. I tell you what, if the Heat get a 12-point lead, I might call it and go eat dinner. You guys want to come with me to dinner? My wife is making chicken parmesan. Sounds great. When will it be ready? I know I almost can't watch this. I mean, it kind of gets funny, and then maybe we can make a joke out of it. But this is a joke. The Jack in the Box commercial in LA makes me so hungry. But I don't eat sugar, and I'm off of sugar, and I'm off of gluten. Although I'm sensing that the chicken parm my wife is making is going to have gluten in there. Oh well. I'm mostly gluten-free. Have I seen an Andre Drummond compilation of all his misses at the rim? Didn't I do one? I thought I did one. I know I looked at them and I couldn't believe them, but did I not edit them together? I can't remember now. I think I did. Wasn't it on Twitter? Isn't that mine? Am I going crazy? Someone tell me if you follow me on Twitter. Oh, and then Hero they take the ball away from him in the corner. I love Jalen Brunson. He's one of my favorite players. So, yeah, he fits in perfectly. Great pickup by them. They call a foul on it. So, let's see. It's a strip by KCP. But then what happened? Why did they stop the play there? I'm confused. Some gluten-free items say it's okay, but certainly gluten-free bread is pretty gross as far as I can tell. Double ball screen across the top, and then that forces the help one pass away off of the corner. They do scramble, but that's an open shot for Caruso, in and out. Okay. 6-point lead at this point is like a 25-point lead. I feel like it should be a blowout. The Heat should be blowing the Lakers out. Now you got Iggy throwing up his no rhythm threes. All right, let's see here. So the Lakers are going to have Caruso run the show. Very strange spacing there, and that somehow the spacing was so bad on the right side, and yet Oladipo still comes all the way over across the midline and then can't get back on a swing pass from Caruso. what are we doing here? When the spacing is that bad, there's no need to help so much because they're already stacked that way. I think. Well, at least Hero looked like he was there. So what are we doing here? I'm really upset. Why is Jalen Brunson one of my favorite players? A, he's really tough and nothing bothers him. He posts up as a guard, which I like to see sometimes. He's just always under control, always face square to the basket, not square to the basket when he shoots, but like he's always just sort of under control and on balance. That's what I love about him. Here's a funny commercial that I'm watching right now with a guy I used to do improv with, Brian Stepanek. He's doing the progressive. The commercial where the rim has fallen on the guy's car and he's got the balding guy. He's talking to all these people in his driveway. That's Brian. I used to do improv with him way back in the day when we were young, early 20s, mid 20s. And he was great, by the way. And he's been in a ton of these commercials. I love Davion Mitchell. Love him. How tall is he though? Is he got enough size to be like a good legit defender? My top 5 favorite players. Oh boy, Brunson, Fred VanVleet, Kelly Oubre is on that list, believe it or not. And I'm trying to think. I have a list on Twitter. I'm always like yelling it out. I like Lonzo. I think he's great. I think he probably wishes he was in a different situation where he can just control the ball more, like LaMelo was doing more, where he can really show off all the passing he does. But I like Lonzo. I think he's great. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, if LeBron or AD were playing, this wouldn't even be close, which kind of made me wonder. Which makes me wonder if what. I kind of curious. I know they're really competitive, so they wouldn't have let the Heat win 2 games in the finals. But I don't know. Part of me was like they sat them all down and said, "Look, guys, we can't have this be a sweep in the finals in the bubble with all the ratings as low as it is." So, see what you can do about the Heat getting a couple games. I don't know. Now, listen, Jimmy Butler played out of his mind, and one or two of the best finals games I've seen. So that was something. But I often wonder because it really shouldn't have been close at all with those teams, in theory. So Jalen Brunson, I think I sort of told you, he's just tough. He's just tough as nails. Nothing ruffles him. Lonzo might come back to LA. Interesting. Steph or Dame? I got to go with Steph. Coach, I asked you what contenders would revisit the Harden trade if they could get you sidetracked. I got sidetracked. What contenders would revisit the Harden trade if they could? But what does that mean? The Harden trade to the Nets, like what other contenders should have traded for him instead of the Nets? I mean, I think it was the Bucks. The Bucks needed Harden alongside Giannis. That would be the best version of Giannis. He needs to be the number 2 on offense like that. And if Harden was available, the Bucks probably could have done something, similar, but they didn't. I don't even know. I have to look at that again and see. I should do a video on the team's best players and most valuable and point out what they do for their team and what makes them so special. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That might take a while, though. I'm trying to figure out videos I can do that only take me 5 or 6 hours at a time. And when I get stuck in those rabbit holes for 15 hours of the video, it's just too long. They didn't have any assets to trade for Harden? The Bucks? All right. Okay, Oladipo. Another interesting. Okay, they caught looks like Caruso with a defensive 3-second, and he seems very confused about that. But that was weird because they handed off to Oladipo going to the right, where 4 players were on that side. That was something off with that alignment, and it could very well be that maybe Oladipo still doesn't know the offense and is it's kind of getting screwed up a little bit. But there is the free throw. But again, the Lakers can continue to make this close because the Heat have no idea what they're doing. Whoa. Okay, hang on. I missed that. Damn. Okay. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Wes Matthews upset with himself for trying to play the high side. And then Oladipo looked like he hurt his knee. Or he's doing something with his knee on that one, but I don't know. Keep your eye on that. He doesn't look like he's moving well at all. I think Oladipo got hurt. Yep. Oh, let's see if I can see let me go back real quick. What did he do to hurt his knee? So he planted it. No, he didn't plant it. But he was already dragging it, and then before he went up, he looked like he was dragging it. So It looked like he might have heard it. He actually planted the inside foot to do backdoor, which is backwards. And then the right foot didn't bear all the brunt when he pushed off, when, you know, even though he's facing the right sideline like that. But he clearly hurt his knee, and that's not good because he's already broken down. I guess that right knee did take some, but it looked like it started to bother him before he elevated off both feet. That's bad. That could be meniscus, the way he was touching the front of the knee. So be prepared, Heat fans. They are Trader Joe's gluten-free bagels. All right, I might have to try them out. All right. So yeah, watch for the MRI to come out, and I'd be willing to bet, looking at just the reaction, that he won't play for several games. That's me, Dr. Nick, Coach Nick, Dr. Nick. What's the score? The score is 95-89. Heat are up by 6, and it's the ugliest game of the year. So people were asking about Vooch and Levine. So I like that pairing. It's getting better and better. Let me just check with the I haven't watched the Bulls enough since he got there. I watched a little bit, but let me look at the standings here. So I'm just kind of curious how the Bulls have been doing recently. They're 4-6, but they've won three in a row. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe that's the video I do tomorrow. Oh, now I got to deal with, like, do I do a Knicks video or do I do a Vooch and Levine video? Like, how are they interacting together? I think that would be interesting too. I'm trying to think of which one would be a little bit more focused and easier to do. What do you think? Bulls, Vooch, and Levine, or Knicks video? Give me your thoughts in the comments. Does Denver make it past the first round? I think absolutely. Daniel thinks that the Nuggets might lose in the first round if they play against LA. But which LA team are they going to play against? Against the Clippers? Denver's moving up, but I don't know. I would think that the Denver has enough to get out of the first round. Bulls, Knicks, Bulls, Knicks. Okay. Nuggets. I just don't see how the Nets lose. Honestly, just they outscore everybody, and then the Nuggets could get there. There's a lot of teams that can get there out of the West. It's kind of crazy. All right, so there is a Morris pick and pop for 3, and he hits it. Look, they're going to hang around here, and they're going to probably steal this game on the road. You watch. Bulls, Knicks. I got in my hot mic chat. I got it's one for each for the Bulls and Knicks. It looks like the Bulls are winning it right now. Does anybody want to count and see what we have? Jimmy Butler, ISO, and nails another jump shot in Andre Drummond's eye. And he's talking about somebody don't do that. I wonder what he was saying. Don't do what? Anyone see what Jimmy Butler meant? Okay. So the Lakers aren't getting. Oh my goodness, we're going to go to Drummond against Bam in the post on the face up. Okay, good double and good kick. Let's see. Can Morris make him pay? No. That was not bad offense. That was good. So now, okay, Butler wants to go right at Caruso and force it. No, I guess he kind of forced a double team. Schroeder is way out of position. Wide open little jump shot. I mean, what is going on here? This Lakers defense has been pretty bad. Vogel's going to have to be really upset. Even though they might end up giving up, 110 points, which is a crazy amount. There's just the quality of shots been way too high. Okay, so what do we have here? Do we have Bulls, Knicks? Damn, let me do a Bulls Vooch. Are there any Bulls fans out there still? I wonder when the last video I did in the Bulls was. It's probably been a long time. Well, William, you're asking what's wrong with the Celtics. It just so happens I did a video yesterday, and it's getting a ton of views. So you better go check it out on my timeline. Let's see here. Thank you. Super chat. Brent, so kind of you. Thank you so much. Assuming the Bucks, Sixers, and Nets will still be good, which Eastern team do you think will have the best chance to challenge those 3 next year? That's a good question. East. I think Charlotte will continue to get better, and LaMelo, if he can stay healthy, will make them really, really good. Who else? And then the Hawks too. The Hawks should definitely challenge them. The rest. Now the question now is: are the Celtics going to start to go down? Are they going to blow it up? I don't know. Are the Knicks for real? I don't know. I'm not quite sold on that either. They're not quite ready next year. But I would say it's going to be the Heat and the Hawks first and foremost, and then maybe Charlotte. All right, we're back. 4 minutes to go, and they get a layup, and Schroeder makes the layup off of a BAM contest. Okay, so they're hanging around here, guys. They're going to steal this game. You watch. All the makings of a stolen game by the visiting team, shorthanded. All right, so what are the Lakers? Now I got to cheer for the Lakers to make that come true, right? So Butler missed a BAM cutting. He got open for a second there, but missed him. So step back on the perimeter. Oh, my God. Step back. Probably got blocked, but air ball from 17 feet on a step back on the baseline. This is just, a nightmare that we're never going to wake up from. Okay, now what's the offense here? They're not running anything. All right, flank ball screen for Schroeder. Falls down. Oh, they called the travel. I called a foul. I'm not sure there was a foul there. Please mercifully end this game. I'm sorry. What's wrong with the Bucks? I think I did a Bucks video too. What's wrong with them? So you can check that one out. But didn't I? Gosh, I kind of already forget what I do sometimes after enough days. I did a Bucks video, right? I swear I did a Bucks video. Yeah, what the Buck is wrong in Milwaukee. I did that one in February. All right, they can't get that corner three to go down. That was a big one because that was an open look. Okay, what's Miami going to run here to try and take control of this game up by 5, under 3? Okay, low post. What's Iguodala standing on in front of Bio in the low post, but they still get a wide open 3. Why? What happened there? Schroeder's not happy. So Jimmy Butler had cut through and said it's down screen on a little flex action. And not bad. It looked like he was pretty set. And Schroeder was completely taken out. And Morris, by the way, should have switched. Didn't just stood there. That's pretty crappy of Morris, in my opinion. Okay, so the Lakers now are in a little bit of trouble here. And they have a mismatch down low, and they're probably going to double this. So there's Iguodala's double down low. They rotate nicely. Oh, my goodness. Robinson had it and close out at a better angle to at least put some pressure on the shooter. Okay, so now we're back. Morris, low post against Iggy, tries to strip it. Shoots an air ball from 10 feet. Luke, G10, thank you so much from England, jolly old England. I love Rick Carlisle, but do you think the Mavs could use a younger coach to this younger team? Maybe. We'll see what happens. Carlisle's a good coach, and he's adjusted more in the last couple of years than he ever had before, which was nice to see. So, but sometimes after enough time, it just needs to be a new voice. But I don't know if he would deserve it, but they might need a new voice. Now, Marcus Morris screams at the ref, and they eject him because he bumps the ref. Oh, no, he got right in his face, though. And that's probably enough to get him ejected. And that's going to be, I think, 2 technical free throws. Wait, we can't see. On my replay, they didn't show it. But that's not good, Bob. That's pretty much the game right there. What Tyronn Lue said, however you spell that, that's pretty much what I'm thinking, too, in the comments. Coach Nick, the last Bulls video was when Levine hit the 3 on the Hornets before Boylan was fired. Jesus, that's way too long of a video of a stretch. All right, let's do Bulls tomorrow, and I'll really focus on how Levine and Vucevic are working together. How about that? What did I say? Markeith, my fault. Damn it. How do we know? Maybe Marcus had a day off and he decided to play for Markeith. Okay. So now it's a 10-point game. It's over. This is a 20-point lead in this kind of a game, basically. Bam. There's that Duncan Robinson handoff that pulls the whole defense out of position. Offensive rebound back out under 2 minutes now, 10 points. That's probably going to be it now. And there's a Tyler Hero. Oh, they called him. See Caruso step in for that damn charge on a guy up in the air on a pass. Let's see what he did here. That's a flop. I'm sorry. Did Caruso hit his head too? But that's a flop. There was not enough contact to knock him back like that. Lonzo to Charlotte. Oh, the play with his brother? That's interesting. Right, I should do a giveaway. I'll do something crazy if the Lakers win this one down by 10. There's just no way. Oh, but they give him an open corner 3. Oh, here we go. Down by 7. That's the only way that the Lakers could have saved this game is if they gave him a 3 and they gave him the wide open corner 3. The only way the Heat lose this game. But let's see here. Up 7, 90 seconds left. They're going to run the clock down. Obviously, Butler is going to run it, control it here. Iggy's going to set the screen. Oh, my God. Did he just throw the ball out of bounds? No, they called some weird – they called a foul? Let me turn the volume up because I don't want to hear what's going on. It's perfect, right? What do they call? They run this play, and what does Butler do? I just jumped back for a second. Oh, they called, I think, an illegal screen on Bam. Of course they did. And they let him roll the ball up and save another 8 seconds. What is going on here? I got to tell you, I don't know what Spoelstra is doing. You cannot let them do that. Oh, and then Drummond throws up I don't even want to describe what that was. No, Gasol did not play. I'm gonna throw up here, guys. I really am. Nice. Now that was a nice flare screen with the slip to the basket. That's the game. 3-point play for Bam. But this is just bad basketball. I'm sorry, we all had to sit through this. And then, by the way, did you see Drummond? Drummond, okay, I know it's a shooter on that flare cut, but his teammate was there. He was in position, and Drummond did not. And by the way, the way Drummond moved, it was never going to be close enough to really help anyway. So all he's doing is giving up a little slip to Bam for a layup and then and one. I don't know, man. I don't know about any of this. I want to burn it all down to the ground. This Lakers team, without the big guns, it's just, stripped it down is not good. And I don't like the way the Heat have played either, even from a coaching standpoint. And then they foul the 3-point shooter. What are we doing here? What are you doing? They're up by 9, under a minute to go, and Duncan Robinson fouls the shooter. What are we doing here? Oh, they're going to challenge it. They're going to maybe it was not a foul, but I don't think you should be in that position anyway. Just put a hand up. They don't have to be that close. You don't need to make it a thing. Yeah, I decide every time Drummond has touched the ball tonight in the game, his post game is unrefined. Absolutely, sighing is a word you would do. Here's the replay. Oh, that is clean. That is clean. So they're going to win the challenge if they challenge it, but. Yeah, if they challenge this, it's going to be overturned. But still, I just don't know why you're in a situation where it's that close. I should get a soundboard for streams like this. What's the soundboard? Oh, you mean I can play funny sound effects? What's the soundboard? I'm not sure what the teams are going to do going after this game's over, if it's worth even going through. But by the way, the worst part about this thing is that we got to wait longer now for the freaking coaches challenge. There you go. Thoughts on Top Shot? I had a live show about that, and it's really cool. It's like if you believe in cryptocurrencies, you might as well believe in Top Shot. And I had a few packs to open. I got to tell you, there was 3 moments in each pack. And it was exciting because I didn't know what was going to be in there, what it was going to be worth. And I got a couple of things that were worth something. So it's exciting to open them and have them. So I think it's going to take off. Why do you think a coach never set Drummond straight? I don't know. And setting Drummond straight might mean stop doing everything but just rolling the rim and then waiting in a dunker spot. I don't know. And yes, Doughboy, you got it. I'm shaking my head. It's a constant shaking. By the way, I've said that Andre Drummond is the worst player in the NBA. I have said that. And I'm sure he's a nice guy and a good teammate, but I'm just this game makes me upset. All right, this game's over. I'm not sure I can watch this, right? They're not going to win, right? Lakers are not going to win this game. There's no way. By the way, you want to know the only way the Lakers win is if you foul them and stop the clock. All right, what's going to happen? We have to wait longer. Yeah, this game is so long. What time did it start? It started at 4:30. It's going on almost 3 hours for the worst played game of the season. All right, listen, I'm upset. I'm hot. I'll take a couple more questions, and then let's wrap this thing up. What do you say? What is the main reason that you think Washington is losing again? I need to check. I have a feeling it's probably is it schedule and who they're playing. I haven't watched Washington in a little while, and so I don't know because I know Russ he's still putting up big numbers, but I've had this discussion with Daniel a lot on the Daniel's over on the Hot Mic app, where I just don't think Russ. It's a lot of empty stats for him a lot of the time. NBA NFTs have been dropping in value after that initial boom, right? I haven't checked. Is that the case? Because I know that they've been getting more and more people flooding into the market. And that maybe there's just a natural, it's going to balance out a little bit, and then it'll go as the volume increases. Is Danny Green or Seth Curry better for the Sixers? Seth Curry, without question. Without question. Danny Green's been a flaming mess a lot of the time this year. How can Oladipo incorporate himself better into the offense so the team can score more? Well, it might not matter now because his knee looks like he might be out. But I just think he's got to do more like what we saw, the backdoor cutting and moving off ball. That'll be better for them because the Heat, are predicated on a lot of off-ball movement, handoffs, that kind of thing. So he's got to get involved in that. They're milking more ad revenue, yeah. All right, I guess I'm going to wait for one last play possession. Here we go. Well, let's see what the Lakers are going to do. They're going to run that same Iverson cut for Schroeder, but then they do the option of KCP on the other side. Of course, he hits the three, so now it's actually like something interesting. They're not going to foul, are they? They're going to try and get a quick turnover, and then they're going to – I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, they're not going to foul, I guess. All right. Okay, they are going to foul, but they let them take 11 seconds off. So it's like I get the first quick try of a double team, whatever, but at that point, if you're going to foul anyway, you might as well foul like 4 seconds earlier than that and give yourself another possession. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Are the Clippers better than last season? It's unclear because like Serge has been hurt for a long time. Here's the thing. What's their best lineup? Somebody tell me their best lineup. And I'll tell you how many minutes it's played together the whole time, all season long. So start putting their give me the numbers. And let's put Serge in there because I feel like he'd be part of their best lineup, right? So it's Paul George, it's Kawhi Leonard, it's Patrick Beverley. Let's window a little bigger. Who else? I want to put Serge out there. So who is the fifth player that makes them as good as they possibly can be? It's not Kennard, right? Paul George, Kawhi, Beverly, Ibaka, and who's the fifth player as their best player? But I don't like the way that they rely on Batum, Rondo, Kawhi, George, Serge, Pat Beverly, and Morris. Oh, probably Morris, right? Why isn't nobody saying Marcus Morris or Zubats? Let's just put in Morris. Well, man, no. Serge, PG, Claw, Patrick, and Batum. All right, let's just put Batum in there. I don't know. Batum. That lineup has played altogether a total 263 minutes. That's a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but not a ton. Now let's get rid of Batum and let's put in Morris, right? Is that who we're talking about? That lineup has played a grand total of 5 minutes. Okay, so they've not played at all. And wait, why is Morris out? Is it COVID? No, I'm forgetting. And let's put Zubats in there. Zubats in there with those other four. Although Zubats and Ibaka together, interesting. Only play 1 minute. That's weird. So that won't happen. Anyway, at the point being that they haven't really played together, we don't even know. And yeah, the record's really pretty good. Throw Kennard out there. Let's see what Kennard has done. Has he played with those four? 2 minutes. No. So, So wait, the Lakers just scored again? How do they do that? I didn't see that. Okay, they inbound the ball. missed the three. Wait a minute. You can't interfere with a ball like that. It wasn't that short, was it? All right, let's see here. All right, they fouled Jimmy. I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm not going to be behind anymore. I can't take it. And he makes the first one. Anyway, a lot of fans from the Philippines. You know what? Great to hear you, Salamat. I want to go to the Philippines, and when this COVID thing is over, I got to figure out a way to get there. I want to go to Manila. I want to check out basketball there and film some things. So stay tuned if you're in the Philippines. That's got to happen at some point sooner than later. And here comes the Lakers. They're down by this is over. They're going to let him shoot the layup. Oh, he almost missed it. Okay, guys, that is it. I got to call. I got to go and eat some dinner real quick, and I got to record my political podcast for my Patreon. If you guys, again, the longest game ever right there. But again, if you want to come over to the political podcast and listen to that, it's called the Muckrake Podcast, and you can find it on anywhere you listen. It's really good. It's a really great community over there, and we really do deep dives into what's going on around the political situation. And that's it. So thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to end the stream now. So thank you guys for coming, and I will see you real soon. We're going to pick a much better game next time, and we'll hang out and we'll chop it up and all those things. So don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel. We're a conversation. You in?